Okay. Um, I think we're live. What's going on, everybody? It is your humble YouTube live stream host, Tim, back with another stream. I was having some difficulties getting this thing going, so if somebody comes in and you're so inclined, let me know if you're in here. Um, Trying to figure this thing out. Okay, Aaron. Okay, you're here. We're live. Okay, cool. Good to see that. Thank you, Aaron. And Joffrey. Jeff, I probably said that wrong. Greenridge, how are you? Angela checking in as well. Okay, we're here. Cool. Yeah, it had kicked me out, and then it was trying to load for forever. So I refreshed it, and but we're here now. We're here now. It's actually been a minute. I feel like it's been a while since I've seen y'all. So hello, love y'all. Good to see y'all. What up, Sylvie? We got John checking in. Zenro, Demet. You posted up at the park listening. Okay. Sounds good. Sounds lovely. What up, Rachel? Kevin checking in. Lonely Girl TV coming in early. Thank you, Lonely Girl. Abundance in the building. Abundance in the building. I wanted to, I wanted to do a title that y'all know me. Well, y'all know me, but here lately, I'm trying to get back into my like positive speech, and affirmations and speaking positively. And so I want to start using titles that when you read them, it is read positively. I want to start just speaking this stuff into existence. Our lives are filled with abundance, prosperity, love. Like these are the things I want to start saying more on a regular basis. So look for that in the titles. But it's good to see y'all. It's good to see y'all. Russell's a hey suitcase. Timmy, man. We here, blessed. Lee, you got a sprained ankle. Lee, I'm gonna need you to stop going back home. I need you to just find a new home because every time you go back home, stuff happens. Anyway, hope you feel better. Sorry to hear you have a sprained ankle. Hope you feel better. What up, Jenna? MH2. Hey, yeah. Angel, I was traveling, so as you can tell, we back home now. We back in the states. We back in the states. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. It feels good to be home. It feels good to be back in America. I know there'll be people who be like, "Why did you leave?" I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I actually cut my trip short. I was supposed to stay in Thailand till the 23rd. That would have been a month, and I was like, "Nah, I'm good." I canceled that trip, booked another one. So I got back a couple days ago. What's today? I got back Tuesday. Yeah, I got back Tuesday, and then yesterday I, you know, had another flight because I was in Seattle. But yeah, I cut my flight short. I mean, I cut my trip short. Like, it was cool. It was fun. But I was like, man, I don't know. I like America. So we back. We back. Locks, how you doing? How you doing? Appreciate you checking on me the other day, by the way. Yeah, Apollonius. Yeah. If staring at that screen all day is not working, you're getting you depressed. Yeah, nothing wrong with looking for another job. A lot of people be like, "Don't quit it," which I understand, but like, hey, there's nothing wrong. I don't think anybody can fault you for looking for another one. Even if you're like, "Hey, I done put some time and some pain into this accounting thing. I'm not just gonna leave like that." But you can start looking for another job. You can start looking for another field. And here's the thing: we don't have to tune into all this talk about the bad job market and AI taking all the jobs. We don't have to tune into that, right? You could just say, I want another career. I want another job. I want to work in another field where maybe I'm outdoors more. Maybe I'm interacting with people more, not just sitting in a room staring at a screen playing with numbers all day long. And just go after that. You can just speak it, hey, I'm going to find another job that I enjoy where I make the same or better money. And like, we don't have to let outside, conventional wisdom stop us from looking. What does the Bible say? Seek and ye shall find. It's funny to me how so many people believe and talk about the holy books, but then there's stuff written in them that when it comes to their life, they stop believing. Seek and ye shall find. Oh, but the job market. You know what I mean? Nah, we doing something different. Hey, Lakers, it's good to see you. I will say, and I know you're joking, so I appreciate you saying you enjoy watching, listen to the streams. Me and Angela definitely don't have any animosity towards you because you're not blocked for good. So it works out best if we all just like, Just behave like adults and don't say nothing crazy. And I'm talking about myself as well. Okay, what up, Todd? Thank you, thank you. Yeah, Angela, that heat and humidity was killing me. Like it wasn't even fun. Like I'd go for a walk and come back. Like it just, I don't know. April's like the hot April, May. That's like the hottest months of the year. I didn't do my research, so yeah, it's good. It's good to be back, man. Shervon, how you doing? Okay, Jonathan, thank you for the reminder. Okay. TMC, I'm already ahead of you. Except for Adele Asma, I don't know who that is, but Louise Hay, yeah, Louise Hay, I listen to uh probably more than most people I know when I'm trust me. I was on the Amtrak a couple months ago, just listening to Louise Hay for hours. So I'm with you. I'm with you. Change is good, exactly. Carson, I'm good. Thanks for asking. I'm good. I'm good. New jobs being created every day. That's what I'm saying. Like we act like we get so stuck in the past. And I was thinking about that today. I was like, you know what? I think we just got to stop holding on to the old world. It's changing and it's going to change even more. We just got to stop holding on to 1997. It's gone. 2015. It's gone. Sorry. And we know this, but we keep hanging on. It's like, nah, we just got to understand the world is changing and jobs will change. The job market will change. Of course, the job market seems crazy. We're going through a transition, but there's new opportunities coming about with the change. A lot of times we just see the change and what's going away and we don't look to what's coming. But like the people who do a lot better. The people who are like, oh, okay, this is different. Let me see what's new. But the people who are just like, oh, it's so different, they just stay stuck back there. I ain't trying to stay stuck back there. Nate Dogg said, love watching your channel, especially when I'm going through tough times like now. Such inspiration. Thank you. You're welcome. And sorry to hear you're going through tough times, Nate. We'll definitely say some prayers for you at the end of the stream. Hopefully you get through these. I know you will get through these times. And I'm glad that the channel and the videos could provide you some inspiration. Because yeah, I know that that's very helpful. I feel blessed that my content could throw some of that your way. But yeah, keep fighting, keep going. We gonna get through these tough times. I promise you, we getting through them. And we're gonna look back on them and be like, man, we're gonna use getting through these tough times as inspiration for getting through the next round of tough times. It's like, man, 2025 was a little weird, but we got through. If we could get through this, you know what I mean? So Apollonius, it was humid on a beyond Florida level. I'm from Florida, so like I know humidity. I haven't been there in a while, but like I know this was crazy. This was crazy. It was crazy. Kevin had two interviews last week, two more this week, one more tomorrow. Okay, okay, jobs are out there. Exactly. Yeah, Lonely Girl. It was I literally walked from one Airbnb to the next one, and it was like a 15-minute walk. And I was soaked through because it was so humid, and I was like carrying one of my suitcases. So I did sweat a little, but it was like a 10-15 minute walk. And I had to like take my shirt off when I got in the new Airbnb because I was so drenched. It was, yeah, yeah. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I'm back in the States, Carson. Hey, Jenna the Dreamer. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Super Chat Squad said your positivity is very much needed and appreciated. Thank you, thank you. That's the message. That is the message. We live in a world where sadly, yeah, it's so much negativity and we just get programmed to stay in that zone until, someone comes along and is just like, hey, wake up. It ain't gotta be negative. We just gotta go along with what everybody else is doing. And especially times like these where, you know, there's a lot you could point to. There's always stuff you could point to. But these days there's a lot you could point to, maybe a little more than usual. Um, that could put you on that negativity train. But we're staying on that positivity train because the world is still full of abundance. It's still full of prosperity. It's still full of love. It's still full of decent human beings like yourself and all of us in here. So thank you, Jenna. I appreciate that love. Thank you. Thank you. Super Chat Squad. Let's go. We here. Go here. Oh, all horse racing all the time. We're gonna keep bringing it. Exactly. Paul, I have not really been reading. Like, actually, I'm listening to the audiobook of. I always forget the title. What was I listening to? I gotta switch accounts. I always forget the title. The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity by Catherine Ponder is from like the 60s. I've literally been listening to that book like every day. I'm thinking about listening to it every single day for 6 months and seeing how my life changes. We'll see. But I've literally been listening to it. Like when I was traveling, I might have missed a couple days here and there, but like I've been trying to listen to it like every day. So yeah, The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity. It's a good book. It's a good book. Mark Francisco, how you doing? Rudy, I'm actually not quite the globetrotter. I've only been to 3 other countries. So I don't speak any other languages, no. What up, Rochelle? John says, advice for me, 29 years old. Congratulations, I'm almost about to be 30. Ah, let's go. Tried multiple jobs and still suck broke and no clue what to do with my life. Uh, what do you want to do, John? I like to start there. Honestly, I think you can't really give advice to someone until you know more about them because everybody's different. So my question to you, uh, if you like, what if you could just like for a week have the perfect life, what would that be? Like what do you want to do? What would you want to work out? You know, that's the question I usually ask people first because then we start to get a baseline of like, and it's a lot more exciting. You know, it's a great when someone's like, "What do you want to be doing? What would you like?" We all want to answer that question. So that's my question to you, John. Yeah, what do you want to be doing? What do you want to work out? 3 weeks away from 2 years sober. Nice, MH. That's awesome. Nice. Congratulations. Congratulations. What up, incognito? Checking in before you go out into the woods. Okay, okay. That doesn't sound weird at all. I'm messing I'm messing with you. Just passing through said, watching from my desk at the job I quiet quit about 4 months ago. Riding on the vine, and it breaks my heart because it's not like I won't work hard, just can't get ahead, frustrated but hopeful. Uh, I love the last sentence. Frustrated but hopeful. That as long as we don't give up hope. And I understand that of like being a good worker and not wanting to like quiet quit and not, just hey, give me a reason, give me the opportunity and I will work hard. But yeah, when you've done that and can't get ahead and don't feel appreciated, and sometimes it's like, yeah, your only option is like, well, I'm just gonna show up and get this check. But being hopeful for something better, I think is what can get us through those times because there are still companies out there looking for employees that will treat their employees well and will appreciate if you work hard. You know, I've interviewed with people before and they're like, "Hey, we're not gonna lie to you. We work hard here, but like we try to reward you for working hard. Like that's the type of company you're looking for, as opposed to yeah places that just have given up on caring about their employees for some reason." Perry, before I started doing 9 to 5 seasonal work, I was in lawn care, lawn maintenance for many, many years. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Really enjoyed it too. I enjoyed it too. Carson, I don't do favorites. I feel like that's how embedded the word favorite is. That like people know I don't do favorites, but yeah, I don't do favorites. Hey, moments of essence, abundance, and love is in the room with us. Let's go. The new lingo you learn on IG. Okay, okay. See, the one thing I do love is that the kids is, the social media people are picking up on a lot more of this, manifestation and abundance and love stuff, man. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it. I was thinking the other day, abundance, like, how did these things hit me, and if I don't write it down, sometimes I lose the thread. But it's just like I feel like a key component of abundance is us being abundant, realizing like we have control over abundance. Because a lot of times we think about abundance coming to us from the universe, from God, from other places. But I think a core component of it, a key component, is us realizing we can affect abundance. We are filled with the abundance that we can give out to others, that we can put up into the universe. And I think once we realize that, it's like, oh, I can be abundant. That shows us just how abundant the universe is when we realize that we can be abundant, because it's got to be very abundant. Is if us humans can be abundant, you know. So I was thinking about that today. I was like, oh, we're part of the abundance too. Like if we're always on the lookout for like, oh, what's a way I can be abundant? What's a way I can be generous? What's a way I can be hopeful? And you realize like, oh, I have the ability to affect other people's lives with the abundance within me. Then it's like, dang, it's abundant stuff is everywhere. Like everybody's got it, you know. And then the more we give out, the more it comes back. Like, it's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, Angela's on a weekend overload. Okay, okay, hold on, folks. We gotta check on Angela here. Going to the concert last Friday. How was it? Then saw the movie related to the album last night. In heaven as a weekend fan. Okay, okay, I'm happy for Angela. Just don't overdo it. Just don't overdo it. I was about to say a bad joke about the weekend, weekday. Don't overdo it. Too many weekends. You need your weekday. I decided not to tell the joke. Um, okay, but just don't overdo it, Angela. Hey, MEJIHU. First time been able to comment. How you doing? How you doing? Good to see you. Usually here though, usually lurking. Okay, okay. Grape Tea News. How you doing? Appreciate you hitting the like button. I keep forgetting to ask people to do that. Thank you. Melissa, I don't know if the concept of that book is similar to The Secret. I think it's along the same lines. The Secret did a good job of really trying to shroud things in like this, which is how you have to sell it to people. I feel like this book is a little more kind of direct, but I mean it's all the same game. You know, just uh, trying to get you tapped into the laws of abundance, the laws of prosperity, the idea that you can, you know, by mental images and affirmations and things of that nature, influence your life. And I firmly believe in that stuff. But it is good to be reminded because it's like in our daily, everyday life, everybody and everything for the most part seems to be telling us to like live in reality. You know, you can only go so far. People like you can only do this. You know, there's a lot of poverty programming, which we're definitely going to do a video on soon. A lot of poverty programming, just like everything's trying to make you feel like you have no power, no control, and it's the things around you that dictate how your life turns out. So I think we need constant reminders of like that's not the case. That's part of it, but I don't think that's the major part of it. Honestly, I think the major part of it is the universe, God, and us. And then over here, the pinky finger is the things that happen around us. But if you think about it, you know, whether you believe in a creator or not, obviously, I assume you believe in the universe. Something allowed all of us to be there and is constantly creating, you know, and is constantly, you know, the grass, you know, if you take I like to use this example because I was in lawn care. If you clear out an acre, right, clear it down to the dirt and just leave it, what happens? Weeds and grass grow back up. Actually, weeds and grass are the same thing. Just certain weeds we've determined are grass. Anyway, um, weeds and grass grow back up because it's an abundant universe. Like left to itself, things grow, right? Left to itself, things grow. Always has been, always will be. It's an abundant universe. It's full of life. It's full of growth. So whatever set that in motion, obviously, like wants us, I would imagine, to live and to grow and to have good lives, whether you believe it's God or the universe, whatever. Like, so why wouldn't that force have more power over our lives than just stuff other human beings are trying to do to us? Not to mention, I have as much abundance power within me as that human being. Now, maybe that human being has used that abundance power sometimes for negative reasons or negative ways to get more uh, power, you know, on the earth. But like, well, then I just need to ramp up using my abundance power. You know, this is the place we're trying to get to. This is the place we're getting to. Um, Urban B, thank you for hitting the like button. Who did I like listening to music wise as a kid? Thank you, thank you. Oh, so many. I mean, I don't really remember like a kid, but you know, teenage years when I really start, you know, choosing my own music for the most part. Uh, Blink 182 has always been big in my life. That was probably late teens, 20s. Um, I was big into Bob Dylan, huge Beatles fan. Um, Matchbox 20. There's just a lot. It's hard to. But yeah, I remember Dylan and the Beatles were. I had the albums, especially the Beatles. I had so many of the albums. Yeah, and then Outkast was huge in my life. Coming from Atlanta, living in Atlanta at the time. 8 Ball, MJG, UGK. It was funny. Me and a really good friend of mine, my boy Ricky. That was my guy. That was my best friend back in the day. We always liked the groups with duos. So like Outkast, 8 Ball, MJG, UGK. We always like the duos because he would like one, I would like the other one. But yeah, man, just a lot of different. I'm all over the place with you know music, not just one genre. So, but those are some of the people I've really listened to. Hey, the bookish. What is it? What does the rest of that say? It doesn't show me the full name on the super chat. I'm thinking that says the bookish minimalist. Um, did you just change your name? I feel like you just changed your name. Um, was it like Underhill? Wasn't it like Underhill recently? Oh, thank you, thank you. The bookish. I'm guessing that says minimalist. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Super chat squad. Thank you. It's Dylan. Yeah, Dylan's that dude. Dylan is so deep. I don't even think Dylan knows how deep he's getting. I think he looks around and he's out in the deep end of the ocean. Like Dylan is deep, bro. Like you gotta listen. You gotta listen. Yeah, man. What is it? Highway 61 Revisited? That album is, man, you know. Dylan was rapping before, what I mean? But Dylan got bars. They don't know. They don't know. They don't know. Thank you for the love. Thank you. The bookish. Thank you. Thank you. Super Chat Squad. Thank you for the continued support. Thank you. Simon going to the countryside for 4 days this weekend. Okay, okay. Life is amazing. I'm grateful for this tale. Nice, nice. Nature is abundant fruit. Nature is very abundant. Yes. Spending time with nature. God bless everyone here. Blessings to you too as well. Enjoy the countryside. The countryside's amazing. Nature's amazing. I'm with you on that one. I'm with you on that one. It's and I always think about it like there doesn't have to be nature, right? B, we didn't have to be born with the capacity to appreciate it. I think about this all the time. Like literally, I'm looking out the window, looking at the mountains right now, and it's kind of cloudy, so the clouds are at the top of the mountains. Nice, nice. It doesn't have to like we didn't have to be built with the ability to appreciate that. That's just extra, right? We could have gone through our whole lives and never appreciated the beauty of nature, and it would have been just fine. But like the fact that we were built, like the fact that nature is like that, and the fact that we find it so beautiful and it's moving for a lot of us just shows that's more examples of like abundance, more examples of love. All this stuff we appreciate doesn't have to be this way, you know? Chicken doesn't have to taste good. Right? I love chicken wings. Chicken doesn't have to taste good. It doesn't have to have any taste, right? Like it's all abundance, man. It's all abundance. Treasure, how you doing? Concert was awesome. Okay, okay. Sounded great. Put on a cool stage show. Okay, okay. Best concert you've ever been to, Angela? Damn. You are a weekend fan. You are a weekend fan. You are a weekend fan. That's good. That's good. Glad to hear that. Blessed, how you doing? Lost Poet checking in. Greg, did you ever feel depressed? Greg, I don't feel when I was late teens, early 20s, I fell into like a real deep depression. I don't get depressed like that anymore, or haven't been since then. So I'm blessed for that. Um, do I get down? Sometimes, yeah, I do. I think that's natural. I think we go through funks. I think we get down sometimes. Sometimes I think it's chemical. Sometimes I think it's the world around us. Um, I part of me thinks it's baked into the cake of existence that s- cycles as with everything. But yeah, I get down sometimes. I don't get as down. My friends, my dad play a big part in kind of helping me out of that sometimes because I'm able to talk to them and that really helps. But yeah, I think we all get down from time to time. Yeah, yeah. I think it's just part of it. Did I listen to New Edition? No. I will say one genre of I've never been a huge R&B person. I think I used to jam out to Brian McKnight. but I've never been a big R&B person. R&B is mainly about like I'm not big on like love songs. I don't like rom-coms. Like I don't in any type of entertainment with like love and intimacy in it. Like I'll do like love songs, but like if it's not lovey, you know what I mean? If that made any sense. Yeah, I just don't do. Yeah. Oh, it is Miss Underhill. Okay, I thought so. I thought so. Okay. Oh, I thought so. All right. All right. The Bookish Miracles. Okay, got you. I have been to Albuquerque twice, Charles. Yeah, yeah. First time I went, I definitely wasn't a fan. The second time I went, I was like, okay, maybe. I was the second time I was just there for like a night or two, maybe a night, and I was in a different part of Albuquerque, and I was like, okay, maybe I could give it another try one day. It's not as bad as I thought. But the first time, I was like, nah, nah, nah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Not mine. Because I was going. I think I went up to Santa Fe, and I went through Albuquerque the first time. Not a fan, respectfully. But you're not either, so it's okay. It's okay. The Berserk is hitting up the skate park. Let's go. Can still rip. Let's go. Advil is my friend. Hey, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes to show them little kids you can still rip. Get out of bait. Let's go. Dream Walker, love you too. Thank you. Thank you. Living life to the fullest. Love that title. Hey Tim, love listening to your wisdom. Hey, we here. We talking. We talking. So we talking. Gambian, what up? Checking it from Spain. Leah, yeah, I'm with you. I'm a hardcore introvert, and I deal with social anxiety a lot too. I don't really have any tips for dealing with it. I just we just have to deal with it. Does that make any sense? Like I don't really there's no I personally don't really have any solutions. I just have to, it's just some I know it is what it is, you know. I go through this world and a lot of situations are uncomfortable for me and I don't enjoy being in them and it might be a little harder for me in this situation than other people, but like, if I want to do things, I just have to deal with it. There's people we all got our crosses to bear. And that's the way I look at it. That's my cross to bear. Like I just don't do very well in social settings. I get, uncomfortable. It's a little harder for me. But like when you weigh that with all the ways I feel blessed, I'll take it. So yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, for me, like, and I'm sure there might be people with some advice in the chat, but for me, there's some things I think there's advice on. There's some things I think we can, but sometimes I think we're just hit with things like it's just who I am, like, and we just have to, deal with it. It's just I understand that like this is the way it's going to be for me, and I do think that for me, it's been it's freed me up from trying to figure it all out and fix it, and allowed me to just kind of do what I need to do. And it's freed me up from being, man, if I didn't have, I'm just like, well, now I'll say it sometimes. If I didn't have that, y'all would not be able to stop me if I didn't have this social. Y'all better be glad. Y'all better be glad. You know what I mean? I'd be like, these boys better be happy that I can't just walk up to people easily and talk. It'd be over, But I understand like this was the way I was built. So, Now, I think sometimes in life there are things that about us that happen because of it may not be written in our DNA. It's just like we went through some things. And in those times, I think, okay, if we can identify something and then maybe like work through it, we might be able to fix it. But some stuff is just who we are. Yeah, Angel, you saw me throw a chicken reference. I had to. You made it to the Grand Canyon, Lady and the Chef? Okay, no roommate? Okay, okay, okay. Maybe, no, nice, nice, nice. Really beautiful. It is. It is. Food isn't that bad. Okay, glad to hear that. You winning. You winning. You winning. Thanks for the update. Walden on Wheels. I never heard that. What's that about? Lynch, what up? Or is it Link? I'm good. I'm good. Blessed. Blessed. Cannot complain. Thanks for asking. Hey, we got Vic coming through. Super chat squad. That's love. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So for my question. Thank you. Oh, let me get. Where's your question at, Vic? I wasn't there yet. Here it is. Said I'm leaving the corporate world for seasonal work in April 2026. And your experience, is there drug testing for marijuana for seasonal jobs? Vic, it just depends. There's hundreds of seasonal companies, and they all have their different views on drug testing. I will say that I think of all the seasonal jobs I've had, I've maybe only like Delaware North drug test. So I know anytime I go work for them, they're gonna, send me the job offer and be like, oh, by the way, which I don't smoke, so it don't bother me. But it's just annoying. Like it's more annoying when you don't smoke when they drug test. Cause like I know I'm gonna pass this thing. Why do I gotta go down there? But I know like Delaware North does, but I'm trying to think, did any other company drug test me? So I would say the vast majority don't, but once again, there's hundreds of seasonal companies, so depending on the one you go with, they might. And there might be some that didn't before who do now, you know. Yeah, it just, if you are a smoker and you know you can't pass a drug test, you can find a company that won't drug test you. I'll say that. There's yeah. And I appreciate the love, super chat. I appreciate the super chat. And good luck with that, April 2026. Awesome. Let's go. Let's go next year. Let's get it. Less than a year. I do think isolation. I do believe that isolation can affect your mood a lot. Yeah, I do totally agree with that. You know, hey Todd. Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear about the PTSD. It be yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and I know we all struggle different levels and through different things, but yeah, sometimes you got some stuff that makes it harder. But like all we can really do is try to work through it. But sometimes I think, yeah, just that realization, like, bro, like this is what I was hit with. you know the good news is I still get to see my kids, or I still get to enjoy my sports, or I still get to do. But like there's some stuff I gotta, yeah, it's just the hand I was dealt, bro. Like, but I get it, and I say that not to diminish anyone's pain at all, but I do think it's possible to have our struggles and still keep a positive attitude, you know. And I think that's why a lot of times people accuse me of never having gone through anything, because I just try not to focus on the things I go through. Um, but I'm like, trust me, we all got our stuff, bro. Like, and sometimes it'd be stuff, right? Um, but yeah, still mountains out there. Hmm. Charles said you have a full on Google profile. What does that mean? I don't know what that means, Charles. You have a full on Google profile? I don't know what that means. But it sounds good. He started watching video 2016, the Greyhound. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. So proud of your eyes. Thank you. I was going back looking at some old Greyhound videos the other day. That channel's still going. People still commenting on the videos. Hey, you know what? Real spill the general. I'm a shout out to the people with kids, because they're taking on that obligation. You know, shout out to the child free people, right? But let me shout out to the parents, bro. Like, especially the single parents. Y'all get up and do something every day that I've said I'm too big of a wuss to do. You know what I mean? So like, sometimes I think in our zeal to you know give ourselves props for making what we consider a good decision, and I think it is. I don't want to diminish the parents who have to raise these kids, especially in today's financial environment. So I do like shout out to the parents, bro. Like you know, y'all doing well. Y'all doing something I opted out of doing. So shout out to y'all. Y'all keeping the human race going. Whether that's a good thing or no, I'm joking, I'm joking. But shout out to the parents, man. So, yeah, I give y'all props. Me personally, 1111. I don't think I run into a lot of women who are trying to change me. No, I just don't think I meet a lot of women like that. Um, I don't think my energy gives off. We can change this guy. I don't think women are attracted to me for that reason. I just don't think that's my vibe. Like there might be some dudes who that's their vibe and women, but I just don't. I'm trying to think of a woman I've met in the last 5 years who I was like, oh, she's trying to change. I just don't think I give off that energy. Um, that women who are looking for that are attracted to. I think it's pretty apparent from day one. Like, no. Now, compromise for the right woman, yes. Uh, but just yeah. I don't find that a lot. Hey, you're welcome, Todd. You're welcome. My opinion on the loneliness epidemic and people who struggle with that. I think we're definitely going through a loneliness epidemic. I think we've been going through it since they started talking about the loneliness epidemic in 2019. They just shut up about it in 2020 because with the lockdowns and all that, a lot of people got unlonely because they got to sit at home with their family for a while. Some people got more lonely, but you can't really be talking about a loneliness epidemic when the government's making you stay home. So they stopped talking about it. But they came up with that term in like 2019, and I think it's only gotten worse. Um, and I think a lot of times people don't want to talk about loneliness because even inadvertently when we don't mean to, I think we see loneliness as a issue for the person who's lonely. Like you're lonely, there's something wrong with you. So a lot of people don't want to admit, like, oh, I get lonely because society has made it seem like, we don't. We're starting to be more open about like, yeah, maybe the social media and us all being glued to our phones 27/8 um, is making us more lonely. I think we're finally getting to that place where like we realize there's factors outside of us that are causing this loneliness epidemic, but it's still kind of, no one wants to say they're lonely because it seems like, oh, what's wrong with you? But I think some of the most successful and awesome and amazing people that others of us might look up to are some of the loneliest people. So I think it's affecting everybody. The thing with loneliness is you can't cure it by yourself. Right? It takes two or three or four. So sometimes if you don't have currently those other people, or even if you have people in your life but like they're not really your friends, they're not true family, they're not really there for you, you're gonna be lonely, especially these days where more and more people are isolated, you know? So I don't know what the fix for the loneliness epidemic is. I hesitantly say that I think AI can help short term, but long term, I think we're just going to have to get back to hanging out with each other. How that I'm sure that day will come again because it's going to have to, or we're just going to get too lonely and stop procreating and all the stuff we need to get together to do. So it'll come back around. I just don't have a crystal ball, so I don't know how, but I think this loneliness epidemic will go away, as every epidemic has in history. Thank you, because yeah, that's not my vibe. Yeah, yeah, that's not my vibe. We going, yeah, yeah. When I was reading the question, I was like, yeah, that never happens to me. No one's ever, no one's ever tried to change me. There you go. Um, why am I hearing a dog barking? Jordan, I'm back in the United States now. I'm back in the States. Yeah, we back in America. We back in America. I don't have any plans to visit New England currently, but that could change. Y'all know me. I don't. It what I'm doing and when I'm doing it can change like that. So, but you know me, Carson. I never say where I'm going. So I'll just to say future questioning. I never say where I'm going. So, so if if it's meant for me to end up in up in Maine or somewhere like that soon, we'll be there. We'll be there. You know. Oh, Simon, you're welcome. You're welcome. Oh yeah, Kevin. I think it's cool that we all get to have our opinions and our beliefs and our views on having kids. So I don't judge nobody for not having them. I don't judge nobody for having them. I don't judge nobody for being a anti-natalist or a natalist. Me, I'm genuinely only concerned about me, and having kids. So like, I don't what other people decide to do. I just don't care enough to take a stand. I respect people for what they do, but like you know, some of the most influential people in the world were born into poor families. So I look at it that way. And once again, I'm on my abundance, prosperity, love train right now. So like, just because a child is born into a poor family doesn't mean they're gonna stay poor or that that family's gonna stay poor. So I don't, you know, I'm not gonna be like, oh, you're. I don't want anyone to be poor, obviously, but I believe so strongly in prosperity and abundance and things of that nature that like I don't think it's necessarily like, oh, if you're poor and have kids, that's horrible because like who knows what the next 5 years can be for that family, or who knows what that child is, even though they may have to, you know, deal with 18 years of poverty or financial struggle, they may become like the next Warren Buffett. Like who knows? You know what I mean? Like it's just, I can't put too much on the current state of that family's finances because that could change tomorrow. So like basing whether or not you have kids on and I do think that factors into it, but like I think it's deeper than that, respectfully, my opinion. But I really don't spend a lot of time thinking about it. Like if people want to have kids, have kids. They ain't got nothing to do with me. Mhm. Um, I just said, Link, that I think that AI in the short term is going to help with the loneliness epidemic. So I'm off. I've been talking about these the people. The OGs know. They're like Tim Bungie started about the companion robots. I've been saying this forever, like well, a couple of years probably now. I've been saying they're going to come out with companion robots. They're going to come out with like robot boyfriend and girlfriends. Why wouldn't they? They already have like the companion AI. You already can talk back and forth to Chat GPT. And the other ones like why not put that into like humanoid form and give it lifelike features and you can just have a friend. Like, why wouldn't you do that? So, like, I don't think it's a bad thing. Once again, and then I don't want to be on AI too much because the conversation gets weird if we get too much into AI. But our views on what's real and or less on maybe not on what's real, but like the need that everything be human is going to lessen in the future. And I don't think it'll be crazy for someone to be like, "Oh yeah, I was just hanging out with my companion bot all day." But oh, cool. I'm gonna take mine out to the lake tomorrow. We're gonna fish. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that'll be weird. Black hole. Sorry to hear you're tired of life. Sorry to hear that. I have been there before. Um, but I got to be positive. You can get your joy for life back. It is possible. It is. It may not seem like it at the time, but it is possible. Born and raised in Maine, Todd. Okay, okay. Appreciate the offer. Love Providence. Very high walk scores in Boston. Okay, okay. Mark going into detail with the recce's. Okay, all right. Thank you. What up, Nick? Checking in from Alaska. Let's go. I love it. I love it. Good to see you. Good to see you. Kevin said I would buy an AI companion. I think we all going to tell you, especially when they make them affordable. People gonna be like, I'll just get an AI companion, whatever. $300 a month, $150 a month. Hey, good luck Kashula, good luck. Good luck with your entrance exam. Thank you for asking people to hit the like button, Nick. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Paul said my audiobook recommendation would be Wayne Dyer, Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life. I think I've listened to that. Yeah, yeah, I think I've listened to that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love me some Dr. Wayne Dyer. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Link, I haven't looked into it that deep. I don't know what it would look like. I would probably just go down and just pick one I liked. Like I don't, it's not that deep with me yet. We haven't gotten there yet. But yeah, I'd probably just go down to the showroom and just be like, what y'all got? You know, mm. Oh, Walden on Wheels is one man's memoir about how he used van life, minimalism, seasonal work to pay off his college loans, get out of debt quickly. I may have to look into that. Mitchie Hostel on College Hill. Okay, okay, got you, got you. Nick doing your first tour as a guide on Saturday. Okay, good luck. Good luck. What are you guiding? What tour are you guiding people on? Kevin, thank you, Kevin. Super Chat Squad, thank you, Kevin, for the continued support. And it's our Zen Fox as always. Thank you. I love it. I love it. That would be cool on a T-shirt, like an animated T-shirt. That would be cool. That would be cool. By the way, folks, thank you, Kevin. Thank you for the continued support. Thank you. I think I found my new V friends. Remember, I was telling y'all in the new V friends cards. I don't think there's a gratitude gorilla. I haven't bought my hobby box yet because them things are expensive. Them things are going crazy right now. V Friends trading cards, Topps Chrome. Anyway, I think Perspective Puma might be my new one. I mean, I'm always going to be a Gratitude Gorilla dude, but Perspective Puma might be one because Perspective is big, so that might be one I start rocking soon. We'll see, but yeah, Perspective Puma. Link, I don't think you can kill off the human spirit. And like I was saying earlier, the day will come when we're back to associating human to human like we should be. Now, will we may have to hit rock bottom first? And could AI be the catalyst that gets us to that rock bottom to where we're never interacting with other human beings? And it just gets so crazy that we have to burn it all down and just start hanging out with each other again? Maybe. Uh, but I do think the day will come when we're back to, and it may be 100 years from now, but I think the day will come when we're back interacting with each other on the levels we need to. Maybe someone explodes a EPE. What is it? What is it? Electromagnetic pulse, a EMP, and like all the computers and robots go down, and we have to hang out. It's like, I got to talk to somebody again. Who knows? But I think it'll. The things are cycles. Everything's a cycle. It'll come back around. Hey, Ad King said made my first win as a lawn mowing this morning. $40, nice. Work was super enjoyable. Didn't have a boss, no office politics, no micromanagement. Super quick and efficient. Got paid, no taxes. Let's go. So I'm talking about the $40 lick. I just should have said little $40 lick. Let's go. Let's go. See, now you hooked. Now you hooked. You're gonna be out with that mower all day. Out with that mower all day. So wait a second. All I need to do is get about, you know, 5 of those a day. Da, 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 Good money mowing grass. Good money mowing grass. Congratulations, by the way. Keep it going. How you doing? Is Perceptive Puma? I thought it was Perspective Puma. Oh, am I wrong, Tim? It's Perceptive Puma? Oh, okay. Never mind then. Never mind then. I thought it was Perspective Puma. It's Perception. Perception. Oh, I'm wrong then. Never mind. Cross that one off. Thank you, Tim, for letting me know. Do you do interviews or would you do interviews? I've done some in the past. I would do an interview. Yeah. Where could you express more of life, joy, and the true fulfillment of a lifestyle in terms of relationship? I don't know if I understand the question. Where could you express more of life, joy, and the true fulfillment of a lifestyle in terms? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know that relationship, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm understanding the question totally. Nick's going to be a Jeep guide, leading 12 other Jeeps, 20 plus guests through Denali High. Oh, okay, 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 okay. Ranked one of the most. He already in tour guide mode. You see this? Nick already in tour guide mode. Ranked one of the most scenic drives in country. He's already in tour guide mode. You're gonna do well, Nick. You're already taking us on the tour. In the chat, you're gonna do well, Nick. You think I'm gonna write a bestseller on this? Oh, I appreciate the confidence in me. Um, I just don't think that's an area I care enough about to write. I'm not gonna hold you. That sounds like the boringest book to write. I keep saying it, when I write a book, it's gonna be something fun and interesting, probably humor based. I don't know, human connection. I appreciate the confidence in me though. Yeah, them three rounds of interviews at King. Yeah, yeah, that's yeah, yeah. 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 You know, I hate when if you don't know, it's like sometimes it'll say like preliminary interview, and sometimes you don't see that, and you be all excited, like, okay, got the interview tomorrow, and then it's like, oh, this is only round one. Yeah, I don't understand. Yeah, multiple rounds of interviews. Kevin said, Tim, we used to drink a lot. Do you think you lied to people more than you do now just sober? Kevin, I try to never lie. You can ask anybody. Tim don't lie. Tim don't lie. Um, Now he might he's going to do something and it doesn't work out to where he can do it. And in those instances, I have to come, hey, bro, I was trying to do so and so, it didn't work out, boom, boom. But as far as like lying to people, nah. I promise you, my friends will be like, nah, you can't. Short of him saying he's gonna do something and it just didn't happen, I promise you, they not gonna be able to like point to a time I straight up lied to them. Like I don't lie. Um, and even if something feels like I ended up lying, I'll come back, but hey, this was not my intention. Boom, boom, boom. Or I mean, there have been rare moments, where I maybe fibbed a little. And then I would go back and be like, hey, bro, like I ain't gonna hold you. That was not entirely true. Like I was, but I tell you, my friends will tell you, Tim, don't. Nah, it's just not me, bro. Like people lie out of fear or like to try to get over on people. All the stuff that people lie about, I don't like. I'm not scared of people. I'm not trying to get over on people. Like especially like the only people I really deal with is like my friends. So why I'm gonna lie to y'all? Because then that's saying that like I don't care. Like, that's why I don't understand people who lie to their friends constantly. That so if you cared about me, you wouldn't lie to me. Unless there's some people that's their friendship. But like me and my friends, we don't lie to each other. So why would I lie? Like if I care about you, I'm just gonna tell you the truth. Or I'm not gonna say nothing. Now, all the women in the chat are like, lying by omission. I'm joking, ladies. That's just what girlfriends used to say. You're lying by omission. I'm like, but I didn't say nothing, so I didn't lie. But to answer your question, Kevin, I never liked to lie, but when I was drinking, I would say a lot of stuff and then never do it. Or, I still don't think even when I was super drunk that I would lie, just flat out lie. But I was good about saying all kinds of, especially to women. I was gonna do this for him and do that for him and da 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 da. And I wasn't trying to do none of it. Sober, I was like, I ain't trying to do that. But yeah, I try my hardest to never lie. Like I just don't. It doesn't feel right to me. I just wasn't raised that way. Okay, you okay? Got an interview for something more stable. Fingers crossed. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, how about this? How about instead of I feel like fingers crossing is kind of like, oh, hopefully, maybe. That doesn't feel like we have the power, right? That doesn't sound very powerful. Um, so how about this? How about we say, if this job is right for you and it's meant for you, you're gonna get it. Okay, if this is the right job for me, I'm gonna get it. If you believe in a higher power, putting up some messages, some prayers to them. But like, yeah, how about we just uncross the fingers and just say, hey, if this job's meant for me, I'm getting it. Who else would they give it to? What? You. Oh, that was good. That was good. Hey, do it, Nick. Do it. Do it. I'm glad I could throw some inspiration your way, Nick. Glad I could. Have fun. Nomad dude, I think here in the West, man, we just got hit with and it's starting to creep over to other parts of the world. But I think we just got hit with the materialism and the consumerism and the money's everything stuff first, you know? And what that comes with is stress, A lot of the stuff we pride ourselves on having comes with more stress. And so when you go to cultures and regions where like they don't feel like they have to have all that stuff, or maybe they don't have all that stuff, not as stressed. So I think it's cool to be able to visit different areas and see like, yeah, like, oh, this isn't, this isn't normal everywhere. Like this is just us. As long as you think it's normal, you just kind of keep going along with it. But once you realize like, oh, some of this stuff is just the West, um you know or it's something exported. But yeah, I think we just got hit with a lot of that stuff earlier than other places. you know Doopy, how's it going? Yes, I'm on. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, I don't like lying. And that's like a deal breaker for me. Like, nah. People I say, oh, what are some things you look for? Like honesty and loyalty and truth, and you know yeah, I had a ex-girlfriend in the past, so that was one thing. And back then I was younger, so like now I wouldn't even start dating her because I just, super cool woman, beautiful woman. Just I oof. um, but she was just would lie, and it'd be little lies. Like I don't think in the big stuff, I think she was, but like just the little stuff. Like if she wanted to get off the phone, she'd lie about having to go do something. Little stuff like that. Hey, I gotta go cook dinner. I need to get off the phone. Or she'd be like, hey, I'm gonna call you right back. Hang up. That type stuff. Just little, and I just nowadays I wouldn't even entertain it. I'd be like, hey sis, you checking a lot of the right boxes, but that lying stuff, respectfully, yeah, no, I can't. Yeah, I just don't. Nah, I can't do it because I can't trust you. Like I don't know where the line is. Like what? How do anything you tell me you might be lying? So how can I believe anything you tell me? So if I can't believe anything you tell me, how is that a good foundation for a relationship? Like I don't know. I can't do it. Hey, Two Blades Fitness. I've been doing van life for 2 years now, debt free. Nice. Your channel's helped me to deal with the feeling of being alone and choosing a different path. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. I always love when people say stuff like that because yeah, it's yeah when you're on a different path, yeah, man, y- it can get lonely. You can feel alone, not just physically alone, but also like nobody else gets this. Like, why am I the only one who sees this? So it's good to know that there's a lot of us out there who just, don't want to do the conventional path, have the courage to kind of do something different to get where we need to be. But yeah, there's a lot of us out there, especially on this channel. So welcome, welcome. F Doctor, how you doing? Yeah, I'm back in the States. Back in the States, loving it. Glad to be back. I cut my trip short, actually cut my trip short to come back early. So I just has kind of done what I needed to do in Thailand. I saw the prices. I went to the dentist. I took the bus. I didn't do the BTS, but I went to the dentist and took the bus. 2 out of 3. So um, you know, came back. We here though. 710. What up? Yeah, lying is exhausting. Yeah, and like I'm telling you, lying to get a job, you starting out with bad energy. You know, And you got to remember the lies you told, right? The whole time you had that job. Why lie? Once again, once again, if you are lying to get a job, you are saying I am inadequate to get this job. So I got to lie to these people. I don't like that energy. Nah, you're not finna make Tim lie to you. But I'm scared of you. Like I'm him, right? Like you're her, you're them. We don't need to be lying to these people. I can sit here and tell you the truth and still do whatever I need to do. If this job's meant for me, I'm gonna sit here and tell you. And you can even, hey, they might say something. Hey, honestly, I'm not the most, happy to say this, but just to be honest with you, this is the situation. This is why this happened. What happened with hey, at my last job, I'll be honest with you, this is what ended up happening for these reasons, boom, boom, boom. And I promise you, you'll get further a lot of times being honest with an employer, a mate, anybody. Even if it's something that like you think makes you look bad, then you lying about it, especially if they find out about it, right? I'm telling you, there's power in truth. You shall know the truth shall set you free. It's in the Bible. It's in the holy books. Like I'm telling you. It seems like, oh, I'm gonna lie to these people and get nah, bro, just be honest. Like, and they might be like, you know what? The fact that you were honest with us, we're gonna give you the job. Because everybody else lies. Yeah, if you get the job, you get the job. If you don't, you know what I mean? Like, JoJo, I came back from Thailand because I was good. Every place isn't meant for everyone to stay forever. So yeah, I like America. I like the United States. I like being home. You know what I mean? So like I there are some things I really appreciate about Thailand. But yeah, I like America. I just wish things were cheaper here. As far as the fun, I mean, I the fun I have can be had anywhere. So as long as I got internet connection, can watch the WNBA, you know what I mean? Like as long as I can talk to my friends, you know what I mean? Like that's but I don't have any friends in Thailand. I have friends here. So that's a big deal. But yeah, the ideal that just because you can go somewhere and have a good time means you need to live there. Um, it's kind of interesting, but yeah, yeah, Kevin, just be brutally honest, man. Like I'll tell you that we have a lot of fearful thinking about ourselves and oh, I can't let these people know who I really am, and nah. That also too. Here's the thing too. It makes us have to like watch the decisions we make when we know we can't lie about them. You know, a lot of you do some stuff like, "Dang, I wish I hadn't have done that," because now I got to tell these people at the next job about it. Ha! You know what I mean? Makes you watch what you do when you know you can't lie about it. Can't lie about it. I've told all my girlfriends, if I ever cheat on you, I will tell you, and I did. The one I did. You know, and I'll be honest, that was part of the reason it only happened once. Not saying I'm just a dog in these streets, but just like, you have opportunity, but it's like, nah, if I do this, I got A is wrong, but B is like, I'm gonna have to tell her about this. Like I can't. I told her I would tell her, right? You know what I mean? So like I think being an honest person, even in moments of potential weakness, that's another check and balance because you're like, dang, I'm gonna have to be honest about this. I can't lie about this. If she'd be like, "Where was you at?" You know what I mean? Rochelle, this weekend, let's go. I've been enjoying the postseason. I've been enjoying the preseason. Excuse me. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. Candy said because of you, I bought a Prius and started doing DoorDash for extra money. Let's go. Let's go. I've been following you since the pandemic. Thanks. You're welcome. You're welcome. That's awesome. That's awesome. That is awesome. Do it. Prius is a great car, man. For Prius is a great car. Shout out to you. That's awesome. Kim King, how you doing? Happy Thursday. One good thing about being back home too is that like my days are the same as everybody else's days. Because when you halfway around the world, you cross the international date line. So like I'm glad it's Thursday for me, it's Thursday for y'all. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah, Kevin. I think um, the more we're truthful with people, I think that helps because like some people aren't used to being told the truth. So when they meet someone who is honest with them, it helps them to get used to that. And that can help them. Like this is the thing, everything we do positive like has a positive influence on the people around us. So like if I'm not used to like dealing with honest people, it helps me when you're honest with me because that allows me to start to be like, oh, this person's gonna tell me the truth. If they don't want to hang out with me today, they're just gonna say, hey, I just not feeling like hanging out, bro. Nothing personal. I just would rather be by myself. Or like, hey, I promised so and so I would hang out. And the two of y'all don't get along. So I'm gonna hang out with him and then I'll come back hang out with you later. Whatever. It gets people used to the idea of like, oh, some people are honest. Sometimes I need to be told the truth. I'll be the first to tell you the truth don't always feel good, but like once you get used to people being honest with you, it gets easier to deal with, which I think is a good thing. Nikki, eating wings from a Korean restaurant. Okay, okay, okay. Sounds good. This sounds like lunch. That sounds like lunch. Let's go. I might have to look up Walden on Wheels, Russell. Yeah. Minimalism has changed my life. In one of the things I appreciate the most about it is that like I don't feel like I need to have stuff. That's changed my life financially, um, but that's also changed my life from the perspective of like I don't base my view of myself or success on like stuff, you know. Especially now that I'm trying to get back into investing and things of that nature, or I am investing. Um, I'd much rather, you know, take that money and invest it and be able to help me in the future than me just like buying a bunch of stuff now. Some minimalism got me there to a point where it's just like I can just have two suitcases, and be fine. If the other stuff in my life is going well, I'm fine. It's not for me. Possessions is not the thing that gets me down in life. Because I don't need. I'm telling you, I'd be looking now like what can I get rid of? You know, like what I need to. I walked past TJ Maxx today, and I was like, I might go in there and get me a shirt. So I'm like, what can I get rid of? So I give you the shirt. But the problem is now I like all the my button ain't button. You want to tell me? I like all the shirts I got now. You know, I like this shirt. Um, but yeah, minimalism just taught me like I don't need stuff. Like I don't have to. My value isn't in my stuff. In fact, the more stuff you get, the more stress you got, bro. Like I'm enjoying the lack of stress. The lack of stuff, lack of stress. Victory said, "Thanks for the prayers. You're welcome." Ended up getting a quick, easy job at a coffee shop, even though my last job was sales marketing, which would get more respect. I don't give it AF because I'm happier. Nice, nice. That's what it's about. And congratulations, Victory, on getting the job. Um, that's kind of what we were, you know, just saying like people that more possessions, more prestige. Certain jobs, more prestige. But like, who cares if you happy? You just go up there, clock in, make coffee, hang out with your coworkers, whatever. Who cares? You know what I mean? Like it's just you when you get to that place like you don't care. It's just like, bro, like happiness does that. Happiness is great for like uh removing your caring about other people's opinions. You don't have time, bro. You happy. When you sit around thinking about people's opinions all day long is when you're unhappy. When you happy, you don't have time. I'm gonna stop doing happy stuff to worry about you. Oh, you went from sales to marketing to barista. Yes, and then I go back to happy. You tell you happiness gets you to where you just don't care. But Aunt Jane thinks you should. Who cares, bro? Like it just don't care. You just don't care. Enjoy your job. Would I rather live in a hotel room or a cabin? Um, I mean, it depends on the cabin and the hotel room. Depends on the situation. Why not do both at different times? Yeah, Kenneth, take us into work with you. Ryan, three weeks sober. Nice, nice. And Rotherham, England. Glad you're enjoying the vids too. Congratulations on the sobriety. That's awesome. That's awesome. Keep up the good work. You too, my friend. You too. Thank you. Uh, the bookish minimalist. I got introduced to minimalism through watching tiny house videos. I don't know where this was 2013-ish. And I have read Walden. That's an audiobook I've listened to for years. And I think subconsciously that did affect me over the years. But um what really got me like minimalism. I just came home and it was weird because before that I was all into comic book. Like I would get home and watch comic book videos and buy comic books on eBay. And then I go get my chicken wings and my bush light and have dinner, you know. But I just started being drawn to like, and this was when tiny homes was just kind of get noticed. I started watching a lot of videos on tiny homes. And then that branched out into other people living in like tinier dwellings, a little van life back then, not a lot, but all of them talked about like minimalism. Whenever they would interview people, they would mention minimalism. Yeah, I became a minimalist, or blah, blah. And I was like, I gotta look into this minimalism thing. So I just started like really researching it. And that's when I was like, man, I like this ideal of like just getting rid of excess. I don't know. Like I think it was just it's always been a part of me. I was kind of still wrapped up in the more, 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 and so like that just really led me to be like, you know what? I'm gonna get rid of some stuff. And at that time, I was dumpster diving heavy. My apartment was full of stuff I pulled out of dumpsters and off the side of the road. And I just would come home and even though I was making good money off of it, like I was paying the rent, a couple months out the year, like because I worked in a college town, Gainesville, Florida. So like when the school year was out and all the college kids were moving, oh, I would pay the rent those months, couple months in there, um, with stuff I pulled out the dumpster. But it was too much. You just come home and your whole living room was just full of and I think that helped to kickstart me into it. I was like, I'm getting rid of some stuff. And then I just kept going till, and that led me to being like, well, I don't have a ton of stuff, you know, um, got some money saved up, like I don't have to work as much. Like that led me into like travel. So because then I was like, what do I want to do? What do I actually want to do? And I was like, I want to travel. Am I investing for early retirement? Simone, I don't really have the same view on retirement as other people. I really don't use the word because like my work is different anyway. So yeah, this ideal of I'm just gonna work straight through to 67 and then retire or earlier. That's just not how I'm set up. I do invest, and that's so that I can fund my lifestyle in the future. But I don't look at it as like retirement. Like when I'm working, I'm working. When I'm not, I'm not. When the day comes that I'm financially able to and want to stop working totally, then that day comes. But like I don't set up. You know, my investing isn't set up for like, oh, by the time I'm 67, I don't. I just invest. Rob, I don't think either one has to come first. Like, I think you can work on both. I think you can work on being happy and you can work on not caring about people's opinions. I just think that the happier you get, the easier it is to not care about other people's opinions. But I mean, it doesn't have to be one or the other. It doesn't have to be one and two. It can be both. It can be simultaneous. Like, you know, can you be happy with completely nothing? I think you need to have your basic needs met, Kevin. So, like, if you have nothing and you're freezing because you have no clothes, I don't think that's happiness. But uh, you need to have your basic needs met. But beyond that, what really do you need? Mm, mm. If I don't really have an answer for the alien question. I don't care. I don't. I shouldn't have said I don't care. I just I mean that's such I don't know if I would consider that a real question. Because like I don't know, respectfully. Hey, Larry J. Out of debt, killing your bills. Let's go, Mister Quit Your Job. We still here. We still here. That one quit your job video I did in 2017, that thing still gets views. It's crazy. We still here. Am I afraid of dying in a tragic way? No. No. I don't have time, bro. Like, if I do, I do. Like, do I want to die in a tragic way? No. But like, I don't sit around worried about it. Like, what can I do? You know, like it's just as likely I'll die in my sleep. It's probably more likely. So like, I don't have time. Like, either I'm doing something constructive or I'm laying in bed watching gameplay videos. Either way, I'm not gonna stop either of those to sit around and worry about how I died. It's already taken care of, bro. Boom to tomb, both of those taken care of. I don't need to worry about it. Right? I don't like if that's gonna happen. Well, then I'll just wait until it does, and that last 15 minutes or 15 days or 15 months of horribleness, I'll deal with that then, bro. I ain't got time. I ain't got time. We good. And it would be a shame to worry about that your whole life, and then you like die the most peaceful death ever, or you die like this heroic death, saving babies from a fire or something. You're like, oh, worried about this for nothing, bro. Like, nah. I mean, it is possible to understand that something is possible and not worry about it. Like, what do I like? You know. Mhm. Yeah, victory. That's a hard one. That's a hard one. When you have to coexist with people that are not good for you, that's a hard one. The only advice I would give is like as soon as you're able to not have to deal with the people on a day to day basis, get away from them. Um, and one of the reasons I love the internet is it does allow us to find like minded people that even if we don't have them in our daily life IRL, like we have them in our life over the interwebs. That is one of the beauties of the internet because before that, if you just were surrounded by toxic people, you were surrounded by toxic people unless you could call somebody. But now, we can hop on the internet, put our earbuds in, and be, having an amazing stream like this or other, channels and platforms that could kind of help us get away from that from time to time. Yeah, bookish. I do think for me, yeah, minimalism helped with travel. Yeah, because I don't have to lug so much stuff around. Chameleon, you're about to commit to having a YouTube channel? Okay, okay, let's go. Um, you have two channels? All right, all right. Oh, yeah, connect, yeah. Connect, collab. I'm listed as a YouTube featured video today. Where? What does that even mean? On what? I don't know if I know what that means, Scattershot. Uh, H. Roosh. I listen to Osho and Siguru. Yeah, yeah, more Osho. Siguru's cool. Like I rock with Siguru, but yeah, yeah. I think I got like an Osho audiobook I listen to from time to time. People give me a lot of grief when I say I like Osho, but I do. I do. Like he be he being he, Osho's Osho. But a lot of wisdom there. A lot of wisdom there. Okay, Rochelle. I've been thank you for saying that. I've been waiting on like if I put out any merchandise, I have to own it first. So that was one of the reasons like I haven't gone any further with the Womb to Tomb like t-shirt or mugs or whatever because I was in Thailand. So I have to get somewhere, get it first. That's a rule I put out. So I have to own it first and try it out. So but yeah, we back home, we back in the States now. So I don't know. Oh, you have 2 subscribers. I was wondering, Chameleon, I was like, "You're committing to a channel, but you have 2 channels." Okay, 2 subscribers. Okay, nice, nice. Rick says, "Tim, any advice on getting through ruts, slumps, and frustrating times in life other than this too shall pass?" Rick, I think the reason why that's the big advice people give you is because like, that's you know, I think that's the best advice. And I do think on kind of a in the macro, that's the best advice. I do think in the micro, we can find things for ourselves that help us to get through. Um, But like, honestly, yeah, short of actually knowing someone, I think it's hard to give advice on how that person can get through a slump or a frustrating time because you don't know how that person ticks, you don't know what they're going through, why they're going through it. Um, it's hard. Like people will do it. You'll see a ton of people like, oh, read more, walk more, do this, do that. But if that stuff doesn't work for you, this is something I'm learning the more I'm on the internet. Is a lot of times that macro advice is the best because like the micro advice, if it's not going to work for that person, it's not going to work for that person. So short of knowing a person or having like a one-on-one session with them, it's hard to say, "Oh, do this." You can say what you do. Like I've said, I for me, a lot of times if I'm in a slump, I just go with the slump. I used to fight it. Ugh. Now I'm just like, okay, this too shall pass. Like one day we're gonna get through this. You're just in a funk. Something's telling me right now to just funk it out, right? So a lot of times I'll just kind of go with it for a little bit, and there's like, okay, let me see if I can start working myself out of it. You know, get out the house more, Tim. Go for a walk. Call somebody. Even if you got to call them, like, hey, I'm in a bit of a funk. I don't really want to be talking right now, but can you just talk to me for like 10 minutes? You know, I start working through the things that help me, and then usually it just kind of passes when it's done. I don't think we totally understand funks, so that's another reason I think it's hard to give advice on it because, like, I don't know if we really know why it happens. Millennial, what up? You're loving living with the family? Nice, nice. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. More people need to do that. Hey, Kevin, that is crazy. You came over from the comic videos. That's crazy. That's crazy. But that just goes to show that's the power of the internet, right? Someone can find you with one type of content and be like, oh, okay. But like they kind of rock with you. But then you start doing something else and they're like, oh, I get this. You know what? That's the power of the internet, man. Yeah, Rochelle, and I appreciate you bringing that up about the merchandise. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. We back home now. You know, we realize all the real lies when we really rise. Okay, okay. All right, all right. Victory. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I don't date much, so I'm trying to think of the last time something like that happened to me. But to answer your last question, I no, like that would be I'd be done. Like we would just. Here's the. I don't care enough. So like the slightest red flag or something like that, I just we're good. Like it'd be different. Like if she'd like we've been planning a date all week and then something genuinely comes up. It's like, oh, my kid got sick or something, I got to work or whatever. That's different. But if somebody just, yeah, leads you on, is like, oh, I can't make it. Well, then it's done. Like, okay, I might be a little disappointed, but it's done. Like it's done. So unmatched, block, done. Like I don't have the time. That is, if you playing games that early, well, then why even? People get caught up because like this is one thing I'm learning. When there's nothing, when you don't really need nothing from nobody, or there's nothing that you need from other people that won't be provided in the proper manner, you don't have to get you don't have to put yourself in situations where like you have to put up with crap like that. If he or she is tripping from the beginning, just cut them loose. Now we get into trouble when, yeah, but she's so cute, he's so handsome. What about this? What about that? Like, you know what I mean? When that's when you get in trouble. When we don't listen to our better judgment because we want something from the person. You get to that point where you don't really whatever it is I want from that person, I can get it from someone who's actually worth it. I may have to wait 2 years, you know? But like, yeah, once I got to the place in life where I was like, bro, I just don't it's nothing you got I need like that I'm gonna put up with disrespect or whatever. Like I just don't I'm good. When you can get good, like in and of yourself, and you can postpone certain gratifications until it comes in the right package, they can't do nothing to you. Like You know, they can't. But, as soon as they start tripping, you just out. I don't think I've seen the movie Thunderbolt. No. Russell, I don't miss my comic book collection. Um, I do miss. I won't say I miss. I'm gonna have a collectibles business one day, so I'm excited by the prospect of getting back into comics without it just being amassing as many comics as possible. I'll say that. So yeah, one of my next, and I don't know when it'll come, but it's gonna happen. I'm gonna have a collectibles business, so like I still have a love for comics, but I don't like miss my collection. Like that was, I mean, it's almost like a old relationship. Like you might think fondly of, you know, someone you dated when you were 19. It don't mean you miss them. It was what it was while it was. Um, because I mean, like I had all those books. Like I don't need to still have them. Um, but I'm excited about the prospect of, because it's like coins, trading cards, and comics are what are going to be my three things I focus on mainly in my collectibles business. So I'm excited to for the next go around with comics. But it won't just be me collecting long boxes of comics just to say I have them. Not that there's anything wrong with that at the time, but that's just not me now. I don't know why people play games like that, Victory. I think maybe that's the place in life some people are in. Maybe everyone they've ever interacted with did that, so they just think it's what you do. I don't know. I spend very little time worrying about that anymore. I just don't, because that's still holding on. Why would she do that? Why did that? I just no. That's not to say sometimes I'm like, dang, I wish she'd have been. But like, it's like Jim Rohn, in one of his seminars, he's like, why do liars lie? That's just what liars do. Why do trifling people be trifling? That's just what trifling people do. Like, I don't know, yeah, people ghost people. I don't know. Like, I don't have the time or the free brain matter to try to figure that out. I just, leave them for people who prefer to date someone like that. Hey, Kevin, yeah, I mean, that's a, it's yeah, when you find a real one, I think we've all, you know, had real ones in our life and then maybe let them slip away and, you know, in hindsight are like, okay. But that doesn't mean we can't find another one. Vera, how you doing? Moonbar says, I'm all about seeking and maintaining peace. Let's go. Let's go. Do you believe habits are formed by completing a task for 21 days in a row? I do believe habits are formed by continuing to do things over and over again. I don't know if it's 21 days or 31 days but yeah, that's how you form habits. You just keep doing something over and over again. Yeah. Yeah. Good or bad. Yeah. Because the subconscious mind takes it over. And that's when you've done something long enough, it becomes a habit. That's when you'll start getting prompted to do it like subconsciously. Because your subconscious mind is like, oh, this is something we do now. Boom. I got you. Um, and that's why bad habits become so hard to break because like some of them you're physically, you know, locked into. Um, and you start getting withdrawals or whatever, but a lot of it's mental. Your subconscious now thinks, oh, I'm supposed to prompt her to do this on a regular basis. And like you got to deal with that now. But that's good things. You go to the gym every day. If you don't go to the gym, it's gonna bother you that you didn't go to the gym. When I'm meditating every day, when I don't meditate, it bothers me. So that's a good thing. And we're getting back into meditating. Mhm. Rainey's Angels. It makes me so happy that people are still talking about the Greyhound videos. Um, I just don't. I hope I don't ever have to ride a Greyhound bus again. You know, way too much abundance, prosperity, and love out there for me to have to be on Greyhound. Now, if somebody wanted to ride with me and we do like a that 5 day, that 4 day, maybe LA to New York and documented it, something like that, maybe. But I'm just hoping I don't have to, out of necessity, hop on the Greyhound bus. And if I did, I'm probably not going to be filming it. So, but it makes me happy that people still ask. Oh, thanks, Russell. Thank you. Yeah, I think I'm with you, Kevin. I think there's a lot of amazing men, women, uh, genderless people. I think it's important to mention all. I think there's a lot of amazing people in the world. Uh, I do think it takes, it's not always easy to find that one for you. Because here's the thing, you might meet an amazing person, they're just not the one for you. So to find that the one for you know, I think it takes time and effort sometimes. Sometimes it just happens. A lot of people's like, I don't know, she was just on the bus one day, whatever. Yeah, especially when you mess one up. I think sometimes the universe puts you at the back of the line. But I don't know. But yeah, yeah. But it is possible, definitely. Mike01 Davis, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Super Chat Squad, thank you so much. Said I was watching your last live for the past hour, and here's the crew actually live. We here, man. We here. What's good, everyone? A little under the weather, but I'm on vacation, so there's that. Hey, sorry to hear you're under the weather, especially on your vacation. But hey, at least you are on vacation, so maybe you can get to feeling better quicker. And I appreciate the love, Mike. As always, good to see you. Good to see you. Oh, I clicked the wrong thing. Whoa. How do we? Yeah, trying to give you a like right there. I hope you feel better. Hope you feel better so that you can fully enjoy being on vacation. So I appreciate the love and watching the last stream. Thank you. Yeah, we back, we back in the states. And I was like, yeah, when I get settled in, what is this? What is that? Something bit me or something? That's driving me crazy. Popping that zit. I was like, yeah, as soon as I get the chance, we got to stream again because took the last few days off, was traveling. Um, yeah, man, that I gotta say the flights back from Thailand. I won't say they were rough, but like when you going somewhere, you kind of excited about going. I don't know. Honestly, it seems like it would be the other way. It seems like when you're going somewhere, you'd be excited about going, so the flights would be. But I think when you're going somewhere, for me, none of the hard stuff starts until you get there and get off the plane. So this is easy being on the planes. The flights back, I was just ready to get back home, right? So the flights back, I was just like, bro, can we speed this up? Like they weren't bad, but I think one was 5 hours and 20 minutes, the other one was 9 hours and 50 minutes. You know, but yeah, I was just ready. Nothing too crazy happened. But yesterday was the worst because I got back. What was that? Tuesday. I got back, flew into Seattle, and then yesterday I had to fly here. So after a day of flying, from Thailand back to Seattle. The next day, I had to be back up at the airport at like 5 o'clock, and then get on two more flights. They were short flights. It was like 3 hours of flying total, maybe. But like I was over. That was definitely over yesterday. I was over it. I was like, I ain't trying to see an airplane again. Because then back to back flight days is crazy. Like, so yesterday I was just like on like an hour. It was a 55-minute flight. I was just like, bro, like everything people do is pissing you off because you're just tired. That's what it was yesterday. I was like, man, I'm just ready to get somewhere, bro. So, but as soon as we hear we talking, we streaming. So thank you, Mike. Hey, and thank you, Kevin. Super Chat Squad. Thank you, Kevin, coming through again. Super Chat Squad. Thank you, Kevin. Super Chat Train. Thank you so much. We got the Zen Fox again. I love it. I love it. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you. We here. You like the ground videos because I laughed. Yeah, great. It's I love watching other people's Greyhound videos for just for that. I love reading Greyhound reviews because the whole thing is different, bro. Like it's like if I could be on Greyhound and not be on Greyhound, Like if I could just put a GoPro on the bus, right, and just film it, you know. Like I said, I could see the only way I could see is if I decided to do one of them. I took the longest ground trip in America, but I know I would after about 10 hours I'd be done filming. I'd be like, I don't even want to do this no more. I already know, but yeah, yeah. Other than that, I don't know. Larry J. I will say I do. I probably prefer Thailand more than Mexico. Um, Maybe it's because Thailand's halfway across the world. It just seems more exotic. But yeah, of those two, I probably would go to Thailand first. But Mexico's a vibe too. Adam, I don't think I've ever had like a real anxiety attack. Um, I've had moments of heightened anxiety, but I don't think I've ever had like a real anxiety attack like some people do. It's hard to know though, because like, how do you gauge? You can't gauge other people's anxiety levels. But I remember one time I was really having a bad anxiety attack, or a heightened anxiety, excuse me. And I found that one of the things I do is I focus on someone in my life I really care about, and that calms me down. So I've incorporated that in my life since then. Is I'll just think on somebody that loves me, I love them, a good friend, family, whatever. And yeah, just kind of I just think of the good memories and stuff, and that kind of calms me down. Wizard, I agree. I appreciate you sharing that wisdom. Says in my experience with almost 60 trips around the sun, I find most people are decent folk. No matter where you go, we all want the same basic things: love, respect, Disney, dignity. I agree. I think most people are decent. And like a lot of times the people who we think aren't decent, they're working through something. They got reasons. Maybe they grew up in a not decent household. It's all they know. You know what I mean? Are there some people who and I think that the true sociopath, the true psychopath, I think it's mental illness. It's funny how we like to determine mental illness based on what you do, right? So like if someone's mentally ill but they don't like do nothing too crazy, we'll say they're mentally ill. But if someone like goes out and does something violent, suddenly they're just a horrible person. And I'm like, that person's probably even more mentally ill than this person because what they did isn't normal. And I'm not saying like you don't have to pay the price for that, but I'm like, my point also saying like sometimes the people we look at and be like, oh, they're going through stuff. They're dealing with mental illness. They're products of a horrible abuse, other stuff. The things they're doing, someone did it to them, possibly, or they saw it. You know what I mean? So it's just like I think at our core, if you strip away, even when we're looking at bad people, if you strip away a lot of the stuff that's like, you know, was outside of their control, a lot of them are decent people too. You see all the time. Some of the most biggest criminals out there, they still raise their kids. They still love their kids. You know what I mean? Like I just think of stuff like that. It's like you look at some of the worst people, and they still would do anything for their mom. On the one hand, they're doing all this craziness for whatever reason, but they're also like, oh man, I can't rob the bank today. My mom's sick. You know what I mean? Like it's just, I think at our core, people are just good. People are just decent people. Um, and even the people who aren't on paper, I think they got their reasons too. Sometimes some people are just whatever. But yeah, I don't know. Jenny Pie, thank you. Super Chat Squad, thank you so much, Jenny. Thank you. It says thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. I don't know. I like that. I like that. I tell you, I love these stickers. They wait. Why is there a Dalmatian just walking around by itself? There's like okay. Um, yeah. One of these days they're gonna get smart and let you download these stickers, and that's awesome. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Jenny Pie. Thank you, Super Chat Squad. Thank you. I appreciate the love. The abundance. See, we said abundance in the title, right? Okay. And Wizard, to add to that, one of the things that has helped me in traveling, especially, um, going places where maybe there's not a ton of people who look like you, whatever, different, is just realizing that we're all decent people. 90% of people you run into is decent people, um, and so you don't have to have the fear of going different places. But I wonder if the people are good people. You know. Honore, yeah, it's been a minute. How you doing? How you doing? Windsor, Ontario in the building. AJ, yeah, I'm back in the States. Kevin, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I need to call my dad. I try once a month ish, you know, once every 2 months maybe. Usually I'll just realize like, oh, I ain't talked to Pops in a minute. I'll call him. Um, but we've been doing a lot. The pandemic was crazy. Like, got us to talking a lot more. So I do appreciate that because, like I said, me and my dad are both the type of people like we don't need to be up nobody's butt, like whatever. So I mean, I feel like before a couple times a year, 3 times a year, but now it's a lot more regular. So I do appreciate that. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Wizard. I just hope we find a way to give people the help they need that they can live a better life. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's one thing that bothers me is just like we just don't have. We shut down all the institutions that used to be there to help a lot of people, or worst case, like give them a place to be. We shut a lot of those down quietly. No one likes to talk about it, but when was the last time you drove past a mental hospital? That's a horrible word. I wish we had a better word for them. A mental care facility, maybe. But yeah, apparently they shut a bunch of them down. Oh, Chris, I'm a firm believer that a lot of people are so. The reason we talk about anxiety so much now is because we have more access to news. It's not just TV, it's the phone. It's not TV, it's the phone. It's the phone. TV plays a part in it, but the big one's the phone. Because we'll turn like you know what I mean? Like they're the news people who they watch the news 24/7. They're a special breed. Respect. Uh, but for a lot of us, we weren't 24/7 news people. When we had the TV on, we was watching something else. I'm watching my shows. The phones are getting us because they pop the news up constantly. They get us because there's not a channel to change. If I'm already on Instagram and they show me a news story, right? If one of the creators I follow for other stuff suddenly starts talking about, like, they can get more of that stuff in front of us now because of the phone and the laptops and stuff. But I think it's the phone's the big one, because yeah, 20 years ago people weren't talking about anxiety like they are now. We're very anxious now, bro. Like, and I think it's because we're constantly bombarded with all the negative stuff going on in the world. I just don't tune into that stuff. Like, I don't know what's happening. Tariffs? No clue. I've heard of I've heard about those, but I just don't tune in, man. Feels like you are life. You too. The name of that is called Trading Card Shop Simulator. I think Russell. I think it's called Trading Card Shop Simulator. Um, I play that game because I want to have a collect. I'm going to have a collectibles business one day, so playing that game keeps it in my head, right? So I was playing it earlier, but yeah, it keeps it in my head like the game I'm doing. Ooh, something else I'm doing, and I've been holding to this one, folks. Um, and we're gonna talk more about this, and I've talked about it before. But ever since I've been reading the Dynamic Laws of Prosperity by Catherine Ponder, um, every day, like every morning, well, because I was in Thailand and my body was sometimes it wasn't the morning, but I'm gonna start doing it every morning now. Um, I'm writing out at least like 50. It's almost like an abundance journal, but I'm writing out like 15 things that like I want in my life. Just I have amazing health, and I'm writing it in the I am type, present tense. I have amazing health, and it doesn't always have to, and stuff like that. I have, but whatever, 15 things. Sometimes I get more because I get in the zone, but like an abundance journal or a prosperity journal or whatever. I do it, and I'm doing it every morning, and it changes. I think it's cool because it changes. Like some of the stuff is core. Like, yeah, I want this, but some of the stuff changes. I think it's cool too. Is like if I'm worried about something, I can write it out. Like if I'm worried about I don't know, work or something. I can write out, I have fulfilling work that allows me to easily pay my bills, save and invest money, and take care of others. I can write out my anxiety. Um, and I think it's very helpful. And it also, I think why it works is because it makes you reset at least once a day. Some people say do it in the morning and the evening, but at least once a day, it makes you reset on like what you're trying to do in life. Because it's very easy to just get wrapped up in what's going on in the world, things around us. And that's why we don't stay on course with like our dreams and stuff, is because we keep getting pulled in 100 different directions. But if writing it down makes you reset. And it's like, oh, I am doing that. Gets the subconscious mind plugged back in, gets the conscious mind plugged back in. So every day you're constantly, oh yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do. Back to what we are talking about habits. Like it becomes a habit to start to think about how to do those things. And your subconscious mind is like, oh, this is what we're doing. I'm firm believer. Your subconscious mind, if you let it know what you're trying to do, it will put forth the opportunities for you to do that. But if you don't tell it, like it's just back there doing whatever a bored subconscious mind does, making you worry typically. Um, So yeah, like every day I'm just writing out. Ironically, I haven't done it today yet, but I'm gonna do it this afternoon. But I'm just writing out, 15 to 20 things that how my life, and I'm excited about it, bro. I'm so excited because every time I write it, I'm like, yes, I can't wait. You know, it's like yes, yes, like I don't know, or I should say I can't wait because I don't mind, but it's just I'm excited about it. Him, how's it going? Enjoy life. Thank you, thank you. Says your content is always on point. Thank you. Yeah, start a YouTube channel, do nothing but positive news. That'd be amazing. I have not played the Illuminati board game. No. Um, yeah, y'all may not know my views on the Illuminati, so I don't. I a secret organization that everybody knows about. Stop. Do I think there's secret societies out there? Of course. Do you know about them? No. No. The handful of families that really run the world. Do you know their names? No. The ones you do know, those are the ones that were like, yeah, we'll volunteer y'all to be the one that people talk about. We'll tell you, stop. Like, come on now. Yeah, a secret society that runs the world. Everybody knows about it. Stop. Like, okay. So now I'm playing the board game. Kevin, I've been said if my parents still had the old homestead, I would be there. And they was like, you can move back in. I would be there. Not even hard times. I'd be there tomorrow, bro. I would go work my little seasonal jobs, and then when I was done, I'd go back home. See my parents every day. Right? Like, don't it wouldn't take hard times. It would not take hard times. No, not at all. Not at all. I had a nice big bedroom. I'd be right back there. Big bedroom, big bed, nice room. I'd be right back there. Phil, I get it. Phil, Phil, I get it. Bruh, it's like 8 comments. Like, stop. Like, I don't know. I think it's thank you, Angela. Uh, I think it's like I think when people are commenting, they're not understanding what it looks like to read the comments. So someone's just getting a message across. But like I think they don't understand like when someone is reading and they just have to continue hearing you talk. Like, okay, like you know what I mean? I just thought that some people don't see it that way. Uh, just like okay, hey, Lima Bean, how you doing? Yeah, we still alive, man. We ain't got no plans of going nowhere. Good to see you. Saeed, how you doing? Do a little time out with love. Thank you, Angela. Thank you. Thank you. No chill, Phil. If I was Phil, to be petty, I would change my username to that when I came back. I'm like, I'm no chill Phil, and you spelled it wrong. Um, are you asking me that, Kevin? Was it B because of the? I don't know if I understand that question, Kevin. Not to be like Phil, but I think there's some grammar in. Oh, guess what, folks? Y'all gonna be proud of me. Y'all gonna be proud of me. Um, I deleted my DoorDash. Yep, they did it. They finally pushed me too far. They finally pushed me too far. A, it's crazy expensive. Especially after being over in Thailand eating on $10 a day. So to come back and it's $40 for a couple. No, no, no. So I was already mad about that. But like when I got to this Airbnb, it's like chilly and raining out there. Um, and it's kind of a walk to the store. So I didn't want to get no water, right? I don't want to walk to get any water. And I was tired. After 2 days of travel, I was too tired. I said, I'll just have DoorDash bring me like 4 gallons of water. I'll be good for the week. Whatever. Um, the shopper, and it's way overpriced, but I was like, I'll do it this one time. Um, 4 gallons of water and some body wash. I was like, well, I'll have to have them bring me something else too. So I was like, body wash. Um, the shopper gets to the store, uh, and they go, oh, they don't have the gallons of water. So I'm gonna replace it. And like at first I didn't pay attention. I was like, okay, they didn't have the one, give me some other instead of replacing like 4 1-gallon jugs with other 4 1-gallon jugs, they bought me that big. Can you see it? Like the big, a 2.5 gallon, and it has like the spout you pull out and the water comes out. And I'm like, bro, I don't want a huge, big, you know what I mean? I like to drink out of my gallon jugs. I'm like, I don't want to have to a big, huge 2.5-gallon dispenser. And I'm like, you know what? Part of me thinks they just didn't want to deal with 4 jugs, so they just wanted to do one. Who knows? That could just be me. But either way, I'm like, bro, like I was like, this is what I'm talking about. That was a lie. I'm like, bro, like, and they did change the price in there, but I just was like, you know what? I'm done. I was like, I'm no, you know. And then part of me was like, Tim, but if there's no DoorDash, how are you gonna? And I'm like, well, you just have to walk. If that means you got to walk in the rain or like be cold, so be it. Like, but you ate every day before DoorDash, so you'll do it now. So yeah, I just deleted it. They make it a pain to delete it, but I deleted it. I was like, I'm not. I'm done. I'm not. No, I'm done. I'm done. It's too expensive. Was Yeah, Kevin, was what because of being kicked out of the community? That's what I don't. You said I meant was it because what was what because? Oh, Todd, I'm still going good on no coffee. I had that one coffee, that one stream. Um, I had that one coffee. Actually, I bought 2 coffees that day. And I had that one, and then the next day I had the other one in the. Was it the same day or the next day? Anyway, I bought 2 coffees. I drank the one. I took one sip of the other one, and I was like, no. And I hadn't had one since then. So we still going good. Angela, sniping with love. We appreciate that. Paul, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for the pounds coming through with the pounds. Good English money. Good British money. Thank you, thank you, Paul. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Paul Kingscote. It's very, very British name. At least to an American, it sounds very British. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate the love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That foreign money. You got to know your exchange rates around here. Mhm. Oh boy, oh boy. Lee's so hooked up on pain meds, he's falling asleep. Oh boy, oh boy. What up, Giselle? Hey, we got Kevin coming through. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Kevin. Super Chat Squad. Thank you. Said one up. Let's go. Thank you. That's a funny one. I like that. Thank you, thank you. And the Bravo Fox is cool too. I like the hungry hippo down there. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Paul. Super Chat Train. Thank you. Giselle checking in. Kevin said, thank you for inspiration, Tim. Opened a brokerage account last week, made my first investment. Let's go. Here for the long road. Yeah, man. That content is coming. Actually, we got a pretty good backdrop. I could do an investment video on this backdrop. That content is coming. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Then and also that's awesome, Kevin. I do think that you know investing is smart. I think it's wise. Yeah, I do think it's a good move. It's a good move. So that's awesome, Kevin. Advice on moving abroad with or without money. I've never moved abroad, so I'll see if somebody in chat who's wiser can chime in. Oh well, here's the thing, Kevin. When I'd said that, like, if I could, I would. My parents don't have that house anymore. It wasn't. I wasn't saying I can't move back in because we're not close. I was just saying I can't move back in. My parents don't have the house I grew up in no more. Um, so yeah, that's why. Yeah, my old room ain't there no more. So yeah, I wasn't saying I couldn't move back home because we're not close. Yeah, I was saying I couldn't move back home because somebody else owns the home. You know, they can had how many houses since then? But yeah, yeah, the old homestead, I like to call it, ain't there no more. Yeah, it is interesting, Shahid, how people's yeah, if you look at people's coffee order, it's interesting. But I respect it. It's nothing wrong with getting a beverage the way you like it. There's no rules on what's right coffee. Like drinking coffee in itself every day is interesting. So no shade. It just wasn't for me. Once again, like I don't shade people for drinking alcohol. It just ain't for me. So yeah, coffee daily ain't for me. Like I said, if every now and then I'm like, yeah, I feel like having a coffee. But yeah, when I had one the other day, I was like, man, this is crazy, bro. Nah, I'm good. Lima bean, I'm good. Can't complain. Blessed. Can't complain. Yeah, no. Trying to figure out what we're doing this summer, but I'm good. I'm good. How are you? Oh yeah, Kevin, I have learned a lot of investing advice from Retire and Go. Yeah, shout out to Retire and Go, Christopher. Yeah, yeah. That man should be like a teacher, because he has a gift of like breaking things down from an authoritative manner. You tell he knows what he's talking about, but he can break it down, just very simply, so you get it. So that's what I don't think I do like about his channel. But he's given me so much travel advice and so much investing advice. It's because of him that I'm building a dividend portfolio. Just hearing him talk about it, break it down, and then like seeing you know a lot of investing advice. The people giving it aren't talk. I'm not trying to end up where they're trying to get people to end up. So a lot of people give investing advice about like retirement. Um, Christopher, like he was like, "Hey, you build a dividend portfolio." Like he's like, "I built a dividend portfolio, and now I live off the dividends and travel the world." That speaks to me. That speaks to me. The idea of like, oh, if I spend the next 20 years building my dividend portfolio, the day will come when I can, instead of just doing my drip dividend reinvestment program, I can just take those dividends and live off of them. And travel, I'm sure, will be part of that mix. So like that spoke to me. So I think it's important to you know get advice and recommendations from people who are kind of living a lifestyle you would like to live. Because like they're going to be geared it's going to be geared more to your ears and also to like what you're trying to do. So yeah, shout out to Retire and Go. That's my guy, man. Electronics, drinking tea with a dab of milk. Okay, okay. Japan is on my bucket list too, Moon. I haven't been there yet. Lee, you never been on Amtrak? Nah, Lee, you gotta go Amtrak, bro. You'll like Amtrak. You like Amtrak. Does it go through Salt Lake City? Does Amtrak go through? You should try it, Lee. You should trust me. Take my advice on this one, Lee. Do the Amtrak. You'll never take the bus again. Shahid, I'm not a travel vlogger. Nah, like this is what I do. As much as I would love to be a vlogger, it's nah. Like this is what I do. Like, you know, yeah. Your dream is to live rural, low cost of living, just vibe, live off dividends. Gooder, exactly. Exactly. You know? Yeah, I was thinking about that today when I walked up to the grocery store. Um, and I'm always having the conversation with people about why I don't have a car. And I was kind of like doing the math of like, say the average person is probably paying around $700 a month between car note, insurance, gas, whatever. Let's say $700 a month. Um, and let's say it still takes me without a car $200 to get around. Uber, bus, whatever. Um, Giving people gas money, whatever. I'm like, so I'm saving $500 a month though. Average is about seven. I'm spending two. I'm saving $500 a month. I'm like, what if I was to like just rough it out for 2 years, right? And put that $6,000 a year, put that 12 grand after 2 years. Like, what I was just to invest that 12 grand. What would that look like for me 20 years from now? Right? Just that 12 grand. If we're not even talking about any other investments, what does that 12 grand look for me like 20 years from now? As opposed to like if I have the car and I actually end up losing money, instead of like investing and earning from that, I'm actually losing money owning a car. Now, it's easier, but yeah, I was just thinking about that when I was walking. Because I mean, not saying I'll never get a car again. So sometimes I'll ask myself, like, yeah, and I'm like, man, I could just, nah, yeah, 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 yeah. I just be like, bro, just think about Tim 10 years from now. Um, yeah, Russell, I think everybody should have an emergency fund. You know, yeah, I think everybody should have an emergency fund, just in general. And if you get in that habit, then you won't have to suddenly be like, "Oh, I'm trying to do a different lifestyle. Let me get the emergency fund." Like if you just always have one, then you ain't got to worry about. That's one less thing you got to worry about when you try to pivot in life. It's like, oh, I already got an emergency fund. Um, I wouldn't recommend a certain amount. I think everybody's different. Um, whatever amount you're comfortable with, you know, I would say. Uh, but yeah, I think everybody should have an emergency fund. And I know, depending on how much you make or what your responsibilities is not always easy. That's why I think we should tell that to the kids. And if people from their very first job build up savings in an emergency fund, then they'll set their life up to where they're able to do that. But it's hard when like no one taught someone to do that at 37 or at 25 to be like, get an emergency fund. They're like, well, my life's already set up with but like if we told the kids from the beginning, like, hey, you need to always have at minimum $1,000 somewhere, bro, then they would just naturally do that. Their first few paychecks, they put $1,000 aside and never think about it. They're like, oh, that's just my emergency fund. Um, and they maybe add to it, whatever. But like we don't teach everyone that. And that's why then it becomes an ordeal later in life to be like, where am I gonna find $1,000? But yeah, I think everybody should have an emergency fund. Yeah, Kevin, I never niched down. So many people told me to. So many people told me to. Tim, you gotta pick. Nope, nope. I just talk about it. Whatever. You know. And I think that me, I'm stubborn. So I'm like, if I want to talk about it, I'm gonna talk about it. If it kills my channel, yeah. mm, I just yeah. I talk too much to niche down. Yeah, Gooder, you start to question like, man, did I just spend $8 on that? I could have got another share of whatever, like, yeah, I get very when I'm not investing regularly, I spend money more, but when like I'm in because that's the thing too, like when I'm investing out of every single paycheck, I realize like the hit I took putting that $50 in, what I mean? Take that 50, taking that $100. You realize the sacrifice you're making. So it's like, I'm not gonna sacrifice $50, $100 of every check and then go blow money. Nah, nah. It just gets you in that that mind frame of being mindful of your spending, which is good. Hey, electronic, hey, whatever hustle works for you. I don't think it has to be one or the other. I think you can invest and flip stuff if you want to. Once again, I think we're very or in life, and it can be and. I think you can, or if you want to just do one, that's fine too. But like, I don't think just because you invest means you can't have a little side hustle doing something else too. I've not been to Africa, so no, no. Thanks, Kevin. I mean, I think if you're, and this is what I tell everybody, like you're the at the end of the day, if you're a YouTuber or a content creator who like shows their face and talks about their life, like you're the product. What I mean by that is like people come for you. And they come for the message, but like they come for you delivering the message, right? So it's only natural that people who rock with you are going to want to hear you talk about other stuff you're interested in. Now, some stuff they won't really care and they won't watch that video, or they'll be like, I'll watch it, give it a like. I'll click on it, watch 10 seconds, give it a like, then leave. Um, you know, but like, the people I follow who I just enjoy, listening to them. They'll talk about some random stuff sometimes. I watch if I'm interested because it's them. So like that's what I feel like I kind of understood early on was like, and I remember it helped that I was doing comic books, and then I kind of transitioned to minimalism and other stuff. And somebody told me that like, an older guy, he was like, "Hey, like people rock with you." He didn't say it like that. I don't know how he said it, but he was like, "They come for you. Like they come. What did he say? They come for the content. They stick around for you." And he was like, "If people like you, they don't care what you're talking about." Um, and that was good advice and good wisdom. That I think a lot of not as much now, but back in the day, people was very important. You got to niche down, and I'm like, why? Like, why can't I be the niche? Like, why can't I be the niche? Like, it's just me. So that sounds very, it's all me. No, that's not what I'm saying. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, incognito. You end up learn. It's cool though. Like you end up learning some interesting stuff and going down some interesting paths sometimes, just because like something you never would have known about because you never would have looked it up. Probably would have never came up in your algorithm. Someone who you do watch talks about it and it turns you on to something. You're like, oh, that's interesting. I think this is a great example for like abundance and prosperity. You know how sometimes we want to do something, but we talk ourselves out of doing it because we know nothing about it. You know what I mean? I don't even know how I would do that. I think see, this is what curiosity does. Um, a lot of times it's through something like that that life shows us new opportunity, right? You're watching a content creator, someone you really like, and one day they branch off and start talking about something totally unrelated to anything else they've ever talked about. You watch that video because you like that person. Now you've got totally new information in your head, right? That you never would have got before, probably. And that might just sync up with something else you already know. And that gives you the ideal for your new business. You had 80% of it. There was just something missing. And you weren't finding it in the normal stuff you consume. It's just not there. But somebody else talks about something totally different. And that leads you to like start thinking about that, looking at other stuff along those lines. Maybe something similar pops up in your algorithm now, and it gives you that other 20%. And it's like you just wake up the next morning like, ooh, what if I did so and so? Like that's why I think curiosity, that's why I think research, that's why I think like, going a little bits outside of the norm is helpful because any new information you bring in, you never know how that syncs up with what you already know. And a lot of that stuff we're looking for is just one. So yeah, I think it's cool when people put us on to like new stuff because like you're like, oh, I would have never looked into that. You're learning from a different area, and that might be what we need. I don't do favorites, Christopher. It's just one of my things. I don't have favorite places. Um, James said, "I've been living a simple life for so long. I don't know how to spend my money besides food." I feel you. I feel you. That's what I'm saying. I do that. I say it a lot. Like sometimes I'm like, I don't even know what I would blow money on. When people are like, if you were rich, would you still be a minimalist? I'm like, yeah, because like I'm not a minimalist because I don't have money. Like I don't spend my money. You know what I mean? And I guess maybe because so many people spend all the money they get for whatever reason. Um, and a lot of those people aren't struggling and hard. They just spend all their money. I've never been that person. So it's just like, I guess if you always spend all your money, you assume that like, oh, if someone's a minimalist, it's because like that's all they can afford. But I'm like, I'm not a minimalist because I can't buy more stuff. What would I buy, bro? Like, there's nothing like what. Like not every now and then I might see like an outfit and I'm like, ooh, and I'm like, nah, Tim, you don't need like something like that. But like, there's really not a ton of stuff that I'm just like, some trading cards every now and then. I'll be like, well, I want that. And I'm like, Tim, bro, like, you ain't got $150 for that right now. The thing with me, a lot of times now too, is like I'm not as much a collector now as like I want to be an investor. So if there's a card I really want, if I don't think I could get my money, if I don't think I can make money off of it, I'll be like, Tim, you don't really, a little $2, $3 cards. I still pick a couple of them up. But like when I see like there was uh, I forget exactly what it was, but what it's called, but it was like a Lexi Hull rookie, and it was like that black and gold one of one. I wanted that card. I couldn't justify spending $1,000 on it anyway. Um, because but could you get your money back out of that? Who knows? It's too, you know what I mean? Like I think about stuff like that now. I would have never probably spent $1,000 on it, but even if it was like 300 bucks, I can't. I really wanted that card, but the investor in me was like, bro, can you get your money back out of that, bro? I would have never spent $1,000. That's just crazy. But you know, these days you probably could. Actually, I probably should have bought that card because that'll be it. Now that Caitlin Clark, see, I didn't know Caitlin Clark was coming along back then. Now, Tim, you're going off in the weeds. Yes, it's probably a $1,500 card now. Anyway, but yeah, I don't know what I would spend my. What were we talking about? See, I get on trading cards. Renaissance said, "Do you have a general dividend fund strategy? I'm currently working on one and making adjustments to my investments. One big one is to balance risk and reward. Renaissance, my strategy is currently I've got 9 stocks and REITs I'm invested in, and from time to time I just go through. It was 10, and then one had to go. I haven't replaced it yet, but my strategy is to just from time to time check in, see if anything needs to be tweaked, see if I still believe in all the companies. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If the day comes that I want to add some to it, possibly, but that's really just what I do. And when I have an amount of money to invest, I just divide it by the nine. If I'm putting $100 in, what's that? $11.11 a piece or something like that. Yeah, so that's pretty much my strategy. I don't go too deep in the balancing risk reward and all that. I just try to pick good companies and keep investing in them. Like Warren Buffett always said, he's one of the best that ever do it. So yeah, I just try to pick good companies and you know companies that I think have a future and growth. And I will admit there are a couple, at least one REIT I'm invested in just for nostalgic purposes. I'll tell Orchard Island Capital. Back in 2008, 2007, when I first started investing, started looking into investing, I picked up Orchard Island Capital. So and it's like it's ORC, which spells orc, which I think is cool. It's on the market. So I don't know. I just really like Orchard Island Capital. They seem to do okay. But honestly, I could probably find a better company. But, it's just nostalgic, and I think that's important. When I do my video where I break down my dividend portfolio, I'm gonna do it. Um, I'm excited about that's one thing I wanna say is that and even, in that book, The Psychology of Money, was it Morgan Housel? He was saying that, like, investing is emotional, and, if you take that part out of it, it's probably not gonna be, as exciting or, like, as good a journey as it could be, like, it doesn't always have to be like serious and whatever in the numbers. It's like we even when we try to make it that, emotion still, bleeds over into it. So, I'm just like, yeah, I just have a nostalgic feeling for that company. So so, they get my money. Anyway, but yeah, they get a good dividend. Good dividend. I think it's monthly. Good monthly dividend. Hey Lorenzo, I got a whole video on rent alternatives, yeah, if you can't go back to back home, which that's mom's right to say no. I got a whole video about other ways to. I'm thinking about redoing it because it's like 2 years old, but like other rent alternatives. Yeah, Indiana Fever, Lexi Hall. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was a nice card. A one of one. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's the ultimate Lexi Hall rookie card. I think it was one of one. It was either one of one or one of five. It might have been one of five. Maybe it was one of four, but still, there's only four others. That was the ultimate. I wanted that card bad, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. If I had the disposable at the time, I don't know, but I don't know if you get your money back out of that. What up, Praveen? Good to see you. I'm glad June 2nd you're going back to work, Lee. You need to be at work. Hmm. Kevin said I have the same mentality, Tim. If I won the lottery, I'd buy a small house, keep the same car I have, use the rest to travel, give almost all of it away. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I think just some of us don't have the spend mentality, and some people do. It's okay. Supernatural Black Life, how you doing? Happiest day. Let's go. I mean, however you spend your money, it's your prerogative. But yeah, I'm kind of with you. Like I don't, I'd much rather have experiences or buy the few things that really mean something to me than just buy crazy stuff. Praveen, you forgot your sunscreen? Oh, oh. Yeah, Wizard. Like that's yeah. We don't teach the kids. Way too much money is made when people are physically irresponsible for anybody to want to teach physical responsibility. So, I think it, like you said, when your kid comes of age, I'm gonna teach them. I think it falls to us if we realize that and have the time to, teach our kids. Oh, you said when he turned. Okay, all right. So he's already well on the way. Okay, nice, nice. Hey Lorenzo, I honestly I don't know without knowing your situation if I could offer any tips, sadly. I just kind of have to know more. And people might have noticed over the last few years, I've went from the ideal of believing. Well, I don't know if I was ever totally here, but like I think sometimes on the internet we think it's possible to give advice to everyone all the time, and I'm trying to, in some situations, I just, without really knowing what's going on, I could talk, but it don't know if it do any good, especially when someone's dealing with real situations. Oh, they do have Amtrak in Salt Lake? Yeah, Lee, you need to take the bu yeah, take it to Denver. Take the train to Denver. Take the train to Denver. Lee, actually, you know what? We're gonna pull it up right now. We're gonna pull up how much it costs too. Mhm. I stay with the Amtrak app. I stay with the Amtrak app. We're gonna pull it up right now. It keeps logging me out of my Amtrak app. I don't know why. Um, they're about to annoy me. Let's see. This Tim is not a big deal. Salt Lake City, Utah. Going to Denver, Colorado. We're gonna say one way. We're gonna say June 1st. Fine trains. $97. 15 hours. $97. That's cheaper than Greyhound, probably. Boom. $97. Look at that. Look at that, Lee. 97 bucks. Take Amtrak. Cheaper than Frontier. Rochelle, yeah, Amtrak's a vibe, man. Amtrak's a vibe. 15 hours. Oh, that's nothing on the Am. That's nothing, bro. On Amtrak, you can just stare out the window. I don't know. I do feel like my sense of time with travel is different just because, yeah, I've done what 30 some hours on Amtrak. Um, the more you do long trips, like it don't you get used to just sitting staring out the window. I think that's why the planes, the what was it, the 10 hour and the whatever they were, the 9 hour. I used to be when I was gonna take a long flight, I mulled it over and I tried to find the shortest flight. These I didn't even pay attention to what the flight was. I was just looking at the layovers, and the price. Like I didn't even, like I said, I didn't even know how long my flights were till the captain got on. I was like, "And this 9 hour, 50-minute flight." I was like, "Oh, okay." Um, I think just yeah, the more you take them long trips, like it's 15 hours. Yeah, you see, you got to do it. Yeah, you got to do it, Angel. Then you'll be like, "Phew." You'll take you like a 20-hour Amtrak. Like here's the thing. Whenever I do one longer than 24 hours, I just say, okay, it's just one day plus whatever. So if you get on the train at 10 in the morning, you got till 10 in the morning tomorrow, one day, which is easy to do, right? Because that's just, you got lunch and then you got dinner and then you go to sleep and then you wake up and do breakfast and you're back at 10 in the morning and then you got whatever else. Like that's the way I kind of do it in my head. You just have to like give yourself, instead of just look at it, it's like, oh, it's 15 hours. It's like, oh, I'm gonna eat lunch and dinner on here, and then I'll be there. Yeah, I just kind of break it up in my head. FR, glad to hear YouTubers saving your life out here. Let's go. I like that. Well, here's the good news, Kevin. If you truly have a nomadic spirit, it will overpower you denying it eventually. Now, if you just like the idea of travel, but you don't truly have a nomadic spirit, but like if you genuinely got that traveling spirit, it will win out eventually. Like, it's gonna come through in some way, or it would bother you so much that you're like, okay, I'm just gonna take a trip. Yeah, you do that 3 hours between there and Phoenix. Yeah, yeah. It's just funny. Like, yeah, the more we do something, the less. Yeah, yeah. I remember when I was living in Bozeman and working in Big Sky. It's 2 hour commute to work and 2 hour commute back from work on the bus. And at first, it's just like, what? 4 hours of commuting a day? But like, once you get used to it, it didn't even like you just did it. In the morning, most people slept in the morning. I kind of dozed, but not dozed. But yeah, you just once you get the humans are great at adapting. Like that's one thing we do that we don't give ourselves credit for is we adapt. So yeah, once you get used to something, it don't really matter what it is. Like you're just used to it. You know. Who do I got winning on Saturday? The Sky or the Fever? Ooh, Chicago's looking good this year. Chicago's looking good this year. Come on. They got Angel Reese. They got Sluty back. They got HVL. More importantly, they got Maddie Westbelt. They better keep her on the team. But Carmela Cardoza. Chicago's looking scary this year. So and the Fever is too, though. Come on now. We got the young goat, Caitlin Clark. Sophie's there. Dewada Botter, Kelsey Mitchell. Come on, bro. You know, AB. So like, whoever shows up with their A game is gonna win. That game can go either way. You might be looking at a preview of some postseason. Remember, I said this, Shaheed. Remember, I said this. You're looking at a preview of some postseason drama right there. That's my prediction. Because both them teams looking scary, and either one of those teams, if they bring their A game, it's gonna be hard to beat. Hard to beat. Yeah, yeah, Chicago looking good. You know, victory. I like so many teams. Like I said, I'm watching the Sky this year. I'm always watching the Fever. I'm watching the Mystics. Washington. Um, who else out there? I'm sure there's some others. Like it's only preseason, so I still haven't seen all the teams. Um, so I don't have a set team, but the Lynx are always a team I like. So yeah, yeah, yeah. I got so many. Yeah, don't get me started on the W. I've been locked in. I think there's a couple preseason games I haven't watched. I got my league pass, so I watch all the games. I even watched some of the games they played against. They played against the Toyota Antelopes or whatever. Like it was good. Getting tapped into some Japanese women basketball. I'll be tapped in, man. I'm tapped in. Kevin, my dream, something I love to do would be on like a WNBA women's sports podcast or like radio show. That would be a dream. Um, that would be awesome. Yeah. I can. Yeah, I can sit and talk W all day. I can sit and talk W all day. That should be the name of W all day. My friends keep telling me to start my women's sports channel, and I just haven't done it. W all day. Like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe this season, we'll see. Maybe I'll just start doing little short videos on the games and just see where it goes. But yeah, man, yeah, because I be seeing the stuff other people don't see. Other people just watch the game. Like I watch the bench, right? I be seeing interactions with people, and I'm telling you, man, I steady. That's why I have to have league pass because I keep rewinding moments. I be watching. I steady. I see what's going on. I be trying to see the team chemistry, and I don't know. We would talk about all that. Greg Smith dropping in. Says, do it. Start the channel. You have a blast, man. Why not? That's actually, you're right. You're right. You're right. It's like all my friends tell me to do it. I just haven't done it. Um, you're right. Why not? Like, what's worst can happen? Like, but it would be fun. Like, I can talk W all day long. Part of me was like, well, I don't know if I want to, make my passion work, but like, I could just, it don't have to even be with the ideal of making any money or anything. I could just talk about the W, bro. Things people need to know. What is Paige gonna do this year? We need to talk about it. I think she's another young Goatess in the making. You know, Paige is like little sister cute. Like Paige is so cute. You just want to. Paige is so cute. I love Paige. Paige Beckers. I love Paige. She's so cute. Invited to the cookout. Invited to the cookout. She's got a mixed brother. She's invited. Mom too. All invited. And she's swaggy. But yeah. Rochelle, you watch the little details too? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'll be trying to see who's friends on the bench. Who knows? That's how I knew Phoenix was falling apart. Phoenix still got Phoenix. I don't know what something's up with that organization. Yeah, something's up with Phoenix. I don't know what's going on there. We'll see. I pray it gets better this year, but something's going on over in Phoenix. But you could just tell. Like, here's one thing I noticed: everybody who left Phoenix is gushing about their new team. Brittany Griner. I feel alive now. I feel young again now that she's at Atlanta, right? Sophie's like, oh, it's so good to be at a place that cares. Da, 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 da. Everyone's raving about their new teams, and the season hasn't even started. I'm like, and no one's like, they say little stuff like, oh, Phoenix was cool, but like nobody, sometimes when people leave, they be like, man, I was at so and so for so long, and I love the fans. It's da 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 da. They ain't saying nothing. Phoenix was an experience, but now I'm like, yeah, something's going over there in Phoenix. Mm, hmm You always say the same shit. Yeah, something going on over there. I mean, just think about it. DT is the goat, right? She, other players when they're like at that stature, them and the team were, yeah, shit, you don't even hear it, like, you know. I promise you, if she was on another team, you would be seeing her about more and all this other stuff, and she'd be an ambassador for the team and for one. Yeah, yeah, you know, just little stuff like that lets you know, like, I don't know. So sorry, folks who don't watch the W, you probably getting bored, but we had to talk about it. Has it ever been tempting to take a sponsor from a not so great company but paid well? I never got a ton of sponsorship deals, but not really. I just always knew that like I didn't want to. I'm not going to entertain like if it's not beneficial to y'all. Like I don't care about money that much. I don't care about making money that way. I should say. You know, um, I think that goes back to abundance and prosperity, and if it's meant for me to make that money, I'll find a way to make it. But like I'm not gonna sell on my integrity. Nah, I'm nah. It's not a. It's one of those things you think about it for like 5 seconds, and you're like, man, it'd be nice to have that money, and then you're like, nah, I can't. Like it's not a hard decision for me. Like I believe so much in this abundance, and like I've been blessed so much, you know, financially and all throughout my life that like nah, I'm not gonna. It'd have to be a huge check to make it even kind of a harder decision. But like, nah, I'm not. It's not worth it. No. Old Tony told me years ago, all money ain't good money. Just like, and you start chasing that bad money, a lot of stuff comes along with that. So you better off, just waiting around for the good money. Cause like why I look at it this way too. Um, if a not so great company could pay me that money, why couldn't a great company pay me that? So yeah, I start that WNB. Here's the problem. You know the big if you start a sports channel, the big the ones who are going to come after you the most is the gambling. They're going to want to sponsor you, and I'm gonna have to tell them unequivocally no, because nothing wrong with gambling. I've done sports betting before, but I can't promote it because I know what it does for people. Just like I wouldn't promote an alcohol company. Nothing against it. I know what it does to people. So, but I'm sure there's tons of other sponsors. But yeah, if I did do a WNBA channel and it started to take off, I would definitely get some sponsorships on that channel. They'd be ones I believed in that I think would be helpful to my audience. But a channel like that, I got no problem. A channel like this is different because the message is, it's hard to find something that interacts. But yeah, if Ticketmaster comes along like, hey, you want a sponsorship? Cool. On a channel like that, it'd be a lot easier. Kevin, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Super Chat Squad, thank you so much, Kevin. Thank you. The continued support. Kevin coming through heavy today. Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate that. And shout out to Zen Fox as well. Thank you. Appreciate the love, Kevin. The continued love, continued support, the abundance. Thank you. Speaking of which, see, you ain't got to take bad money. It's good money. Yeah, Rochelle, I just ain't. And to I promise, like anybody out there, you feel so good. It is an amazing feeling when you put your integrity and you put your morals and you put, the people and things you love, or should I say the people you love above anything else, above money, above sex, above success, above admiration. It's the best feeling in the world, when you put the real things in life above everything else and refuse to sell out. Like they can't tell you nothing. Because when you sell out, deep down inside, you sold out. There's been times, I'll be the first to admit, there's been times I did some things and later I was like, "Ah, I think I kind of sold out, bro." Not like this, but just in life in general. It's not a good feeling. Years later, I still know. I gave into the fear. I did what you know, that's not a good feeling. It's a lot better feeling when like you stand up and just like, nah, you can't buy me. But you won't have as much money. Okay. How do you know? I might have more. You know what I mean? Like someone, like, yeah, it's a great feeling when you can't be bought, you know? Yeah, it would definitely be a different crowd on that channel, Angela. Yeah. Yeah. But we'd have the same rules. Nah, we're not gonna get crazy. You're not gonna be on here talking about the girls. Like same rules. Nick, I don't watch UFC. I'm just not big on like fighting. Hey, David, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Super Chat Squad, thank you so much, David. Thank you. Said you're just found your YouTube channel about a month ago. Really enjoy your work. Thank you. You are welcome. I appreciate you coming through. Glad to have you here. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the community. Please stick around if the content continues to be something that you're enjoying and appreciating. And I appreciate the love. Thank you. Thank you. Abundance. See, you don't have to sell out. It's an abundant universe. If it's meant for you, it's gonna come to you. Like it's not, and you believe it's coming to you, it'll come to you. I've been thinking too, just about how much belief, how big a role belief plays in our life, right? It's like belief is so important in our life that you could take me, take you, and we were the same exact person, right? Same exact childhood, same exact everything. But if we had different beliefs, we'd be living a totally different life. Like, take a minute, like how powerful that is. If you had different beliefs, you would be living a totally different life. If I had different beliefs, different person, different life. However, so many of our beliefs we just got from the people that came before us. So belief has the power to totally influence our entire life, the whole trajectory, right? And we just kind of go along with whatever belief the people around us gave us. That's scary, bro. That's scary, sis. Right? That's what I think. I'm like, a lot of times the things we want in life that we're not getting, it might be because of some of these like whacked out beliefs we have that aren't truly in line with us, but like that's just what people told us. And it's like, you know what? If we change some of these beliefs or we analyze our beliefs and find like what we really want to believe in, or we find beliefs that might be a little more in tune with who we are, it's like, maybe some of that stuff we've been trying to get or trying to do or trying to get rid of might come into our life or go out of our life if we just changed our beliefs, because your beliefs influence your actions and your actions are how you get what you get. So maybe it's not, maybe that's why we've been pounding our head against the wall and trying to work hard and do all this stuff for all these years and getting nowhere because our beliefs aren't allowing us to get there. It's not the work we're putting in. It's not. It's like our beliefs. I'll tell you. I'm gonna start downloading on this belief stuff, bro. Like this is powerful, man. It's powerful. Oh, I feel you on that, Greg. I said I felt like that when I sold cars, putting people in debt for something I know they didn't need. I was good at it, but that only made me feel worse. That's say, yeah, and I think a lot of people could be in that similar situation and not get to the place where they like realize it. You realize like, wait a second, this is. Some people might just be like, why am I? But like subconsciously, internally, like it's bothering them. But until you like figure it out, you can't decide to be like, yeah, I just got to get another job. Sounds crazy. I'm good at it. I'm making good money, but I just something doesn't feel right here. You know. Christopher, when I was on vacation, I ate in Thailand. I ate minced pork omelets on rice, and I ate like a lot of pork on rice. Perception is reality, exactly, Angela. Like that's why it's important that we control our perception instead of just like letting other people control it. Lee, I think you're behind in the chat. It's all good though. You'll catch up. Yeah, man. If it don't feel right, trust in that gut. If it don't feel right, yeah. And just, asking ourselves why we believe what we believe, you know? It's hard. I will not sit here and say it's easy. But I think it's necessary if we're trying to get the most out of this life. But it's hard sometimes, like especially like beliefs you've had since you was like a kid that like built the foundation of like your life. It's hard to go in there and pull one of them blocks out and put another. Like it's hard sometimes. Like it's got to be done to get to where I think sometimes we just need to. There might be some beliefs that we need to challenge, even if it's like I'm not saying this is wrong. I do need to challenge it just to see where I really stand on it, see if it holds up, and that can be really hard to do, especially stuff like religious stuff, because then you kind of feel like you're going against God, stuff like that. But it's like, no, I have to make sure that's genuinely what I believe. That like this is against God or whatever. Someone told me that. Me challenging it isn't challenging God. I'm trying to get right. You know what I mean? If it feels a little weird to me, I need to challenge this belief and see if I actually believe that. And if it comes to find out I don't, then that's actually me getting closer to God. Because now I can go down the path of what do I believe God actually likes or dislikes or whatever, as opposed to me just like, which, if we're friends, I want you to learn from me, if possible, what it is I like or don't like. I don't want you to hear it from other people. You're bringing me, you know, gluten free veggie lasagna to eat because someone told me Tim likes it. You know, I'd rather you learn that I like chicken wings. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's how it is. Like a lot of the religious stuff. I'm like, it's hard to work through that stuff sometimes. It's like, oh no, this is not me defying God or going against God. This is me trying to figure out what God actually is into. What's the real message? What's the real truth with the divine? Like it feels weird at first, but it's like I'm trying to take steps to get closer, not just doing and believing the things that everyone around me told me and never really explained a lot of times. Okay. Nick, I've traveled by train. Yeah, I'd be on the Amtrak. I took one a couple months ago. I'd be on the Amtrak. Actually, I mean, I was on Amtrak last month. I took it from Portland to Seattle. But yeah, I'll be on Amtrak a lot. I'm not really a vlogger, so you probably won't see video of me on the train, but other than like a couple clips. But yeah, I've been on the train a lot. Ewa, what up? Doopy, I couldn't. I don't have any advice on that, just because like when I was on antidepressants and stuff, it was not a good experience for me. So I don't really. But I've talked to other people who it was. So, yeah, I would never speak on someone else's journey on that because I think it's so specific. You know. Estefana, hello, how you doing? Oh, we got Jose checking in. 34. Nice, nice, nice. He said, you're right. Nothing has or will change. I keep telling you. I'll keep growing spiritually, emotionally, personally, professionally. Hey, Jose, once again, man, I'm loving the positivity, man. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Hey, Estefana, like I respect your opinion on that. I could see why a lot of people don't think there's a God. You know, I believe there's one, but like I totally understand people believe there's not one. And here's the thing: neither one of us can say the other's right or wrong. So yeah, you'll get no disagreement from me on that, other than saying I believe there's one. But like I once again, we should have our own beliefs, right? That's why I find it weird when people want to argue. Now, if people want to debate or discuss, cool. But when people want to argue about other people's beliefs, I'm like, bro, we're supposed to have our own beliefs. Like that person hopefully has taken the time to realize like this is what I believe. I respect that. Now, sometimes people are just parroting back what their parents taught them, but I respect that too, in a way. Um, But yeah, we're supposed to have like we're all different. So why is it a problem if we have different beliefs? It doesn't diminish my belief. Like my beliefs aren't threatened. Like my belief in God isn't threatened if someone doesn't believe in God. Just like I'm sure their belief in there not being a God isn't threatened by me believing there is one, or it shouldn't be. You know, we can coexist. Like it's not, you know. Uh, Eva, your name's pronounced Eva. Oh, I'm glad you wrote that down because I would have never. Eva. Okay, thank you. I'll hopefully I'll remember that. Yeah, this is we going for a few more minutes. We talking. I got time, and I got good lighting, good internet, and good lighting. That's that's big for me. And I'm not. I don't have anything else to do today. So some days I enjoy the company. So I do have to work on. So here's something. So I'm gonna have my collectibles business one day, and I told myself that I want to start actively like working on that. But um for me, the beginning steps aren't buying product, and the beginning steps is like learning the trade. So that means sitting on the internet, watching videos about comic books, watching videos about, doing research about trading cards, being on eBay for hours looking at trading card prices. And I'm trying to, learn new resources for research and all that. Here's the thing. I enjoy doing that immensely. And it's weird, we've kind of been taught that like if you enjoy doing something, it's not work. Because I'm even I had to tell myself the other day. I'm like, Tim, just because I'll feel like I'm not working on it. I'm like, Tim, you need to be working on something. But I am. But I love it. So it you know what I mean? I sit there for a few hours just looking at trading cards and I'm like, but what did you actually do? I'm like, Tim, you're learning. So I'm having to retool my thinking to realize that like, hey, you can, it's not about buying stuff right now. You're in the research phase. And just because you like the research doesn't mean it's wrong. So, I'll probably sit here for hours watching comic book videos. I think I'm gonna focus on golden age comic books too, maybe. So yeah. Anyway, I have not lived in a car before. I did some road tripping and stayed in my car some nights. And I'll admit, in some videos I did in the past, I might have been a little flexible with some of the titles, so it might have seemed like I lived in a car. Um, but no, I never lived in it. There's abundance of things to do today. Exactly, Joe. Exactly. Like every day. Just like every day. I agree with you too, Chris. Yeah. Is this belief harming anybody? And I think you'll find that most of the beliefs that are harmful, those are the ones that people argue about the most. A lot of times. The people who have the harmful belief are the ones out there yelling and screaming to other people. Um, but yeah, like it's I don't, yeah. When it's just like, oh, this is the only way. Yeah, that's when it gets crazy, and they'll go to war over beliefs, which it doesn't matter at the end of the day, especially the religious stuff. But it's like, bro, like, why does it matter what someone else believes? Like, what is it doing to you? I don't know. I don't get it. I just be, even if I totally disagree, like I respect your right to believe it. Like, I mean, Kevin, just reading that little bit right there, it seems like you overcame at a very young age. You had to overcome some things that some of us will never overcome. I mean, I feel like that's something, amazing. You should love yourself for that, right? You look at it that way, it's like, bro, like I did some stuff y'all couldn't, not saying y'all couldn't, you know what I mean? It was like I went through some stuff at a very young age, other people didn't have to go through, and I made it through. Um, I mean, and I'm sure there's some experiences that came along with that. That might be why the reason why you you said I hate myself because of my weird past. Because I'm sure you went through some stuff, but like I think you can flip that around and just be like, bro, at like what 7? I'm out here having major surgery and learning to walk and all this stuff. Like I'm him. Like I was overcoming obstacles before I was 10, bro. What are we doing? What have y'all got for me? Like what can you say to me? You know what I mean? Like, come on, all that stuff we went through, man. It can be used as fuel. Like, that's one thing. Like, we look at the past so much and we beat ourselves up. But I'm like, all of us have gone through crazy stuff in the past, difficult stuff, and overcame it. And a lot of times, instead of looking at that and realizing how strong we are, how powerful we are, we kind of look down on ourselves because we had to go through it, even though 99.879% of the time we had nothing to do with it. You ever thought about that? We will look down on ourselves and beat ourselves up for something we went through in the past that we didn't even, I shouldn't say 99%, 90%. Um, a lot of times it was stuff we didn't have nothing to do with. It just happened one day. That 10% we did, hey, we learned, hopefully. But it's just like, we'll beat our, oh, I'm such a, because, bro, you got through it. And you were like 14. You know what I mean? Like, we're powerful out here, man. We powerful out here. I don't know about other communities, but yeah, we're living abundant, prosperous, getting all kind of love. Oh man, it's nice out here, man. Someone struggling with taking their first flight alone, you're not gonna like this advice, comedy, podcast, patrol, CPP. You're not gonna like it. You might. Uh, I say just buy the ticket and go. Like, and I know that sounds very. I'm not being dismissive, and I'm not saying that will be easy. But I definitely say buy the ticket. Then you got to go. Now you could, turn it in, get a refund, get some credits. I know, but like, there's something powerful just buying the ticket. I think part of that has to do with the imaging. Once you buy something, it starts to become real. Like you can think about something all the time. Once you buy that ticket, spend some money, it starts to become real. And I think then you really start having to like mentally prepare yourself. Like nervous about this, taking this first flight alone, but hey, we got to do it now. Because I think that's one of those things. Okay, hold on, bro. Like respectfully, like sometimes people we got to think about what we comment. Like if somebody's saying they're anxious about doing something, don't tell them not to do it. Like we don't. I understand. We don't always think. It's just funny we say it. Now back to what I was saying. Back to me. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I would say just some things you can't overcome listening. Like you have to do it to overcome it. Flying is one of those. I don't think you can listen to enough podcasts, listen to enough videos, ask enough questions. If you're scared to do it or you're kind of apprehensive about doing it, you're anxious about doing it, you are going to remain anxious about doing it until you do it. So I think, some situations, if you decide to ultimately do it, it's just like, this is going to suck. I'm not going to like it, but I want to do this. I know I can do it. And honestly, once I get start doing it, it might be okay. But I know the lead up to it is going to be horrible. And a lot of times that's the biggest problem is the lead up because you're just gonna sit there and like worry up until the day you take the flight. But I've noticed this from flying all the time. Um, you notice the nervous people. Um, Takeoff is like the worst time when they hit that gas and that, and that plane start going. That's when you see the people tense up and they hold the chair. You give them about 20 minutes once the plane's in the air. And like once you take off, planes in the air, you get to a cruising altitude, you forget you on the plane half the time. I'm telling you, it's smooth. You fall asleep on an airplane, wake up in an airplane. You don't even know you're in the air. You're like, where am I? It's smooth. You know what I mean? So like, it may just be that yeah, leading up to the flight and the beginning of the flight, you're very anxious and worked up. But once you do it, then it's like yeah, it's not my favorite thing to do. I know I got to sit by the window. There was a girl got on the plane yesterday. And it was my second flight. It was on a very not a small plane, but not one of the big ones. So there was only 4 seats to the there was 2 seats, the aisle, 2 seats. So on her row, there was a lady, already sitting in the aisle seat. So when the girl came, she's like, "Oh, I'm sitting at the window." And the lady's like, "Oh, I can just scoot over." And she was like, "No, I need the window seat or I'll throw up." So that there are some people like if they don't. That's why I like to sit by the window too. There was times when I got a little jittery. Looking out the window helped me. There's a little tip. Um, but yeah, I think just like you have to take the flight. Like you just, it's just like going alone. Maybe you're used to going with people. Like it's just one of those things. Like I think you have to do it and prove to yourself you can do it, and then it's never going to be a problem again. Even if you don't enjoy doing it, it's like, oh, I can do it. That's regular, you know. Jose, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Super Chat Squad, thank you, Jose. Say, Tim, to continue making this my best year like it's been so far. So I'm talking about. Let's go to enjoy my trip to NYC next weekend and to reach the 34 years of age. Hey, Jose, I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. Enjoy New York City. Enjoy New York City. Have fun. Have fun. You 34. Let them know. Put NYC on notice. And keep having that amazing year. And I appreciate you uh, uh continue to show love and support, and more importantly, the positivity you bring to the chat. So thank you. Diamanto checking in. Hello. Yeah, it's only 3-hour flight comedy. Yeah, you do that. You'll forget you. Yeah, just you do that easy. Hashtag bless, Kevin. Oh, Angela, you get nervous on the takeoff and landings? Yeah, it's funny the why the takeoff. I guess because it just feels weird, but like I don't know. Oh, there was weird landing. One of the flights. I took the past couple of days. There was a weird landing. Like it's one of those banky landings. I'm like, what are they doing up there? I'm like, they ain't got autopilot. It was one of those banky landings, and it's like, I was like, well, but yeah, yeah, yeah. Once you're in the air, it's smooth. Yeah, Greg says I can't stay awake on planes. As soon as those wheels leave the ground, I'm snoring. I'm jealous, bro. Sorry to anyone else on that plane. That white noise, a little vibration is knocking me out like a trank dart. I'm jealous. I wish I could sleep on the plane. You know what I do on the plane? This is me on the plane. Very embarrassing. I'm this sleeper. I literally do that. Like it was a 55-minute flight. I probably jerked about 15 times. I know the guy sitting next to me was like, "What is happening?" Because like I literally like you feel yourself nodding, and then like I jerk up. I don't know what it is. It's something weird. Sometimes I can nap out, but other times I just do the jerky jerk, McJerkison. The whole flight is crazy. It's crazy. So then I'm like, Tim, stay awake. Don't fall asleep. And the next thing I know, I'm like, it's weird. It's weird. I'm jealous. I wish I could pass out on the flight. Yeah, Rochelle, I've noticed from I went on my first international flight in 2019. Food service has changed. I remember that flight, they fed us like twice. 2 meals, snacks. Now, oh, Korean Air, we need to talk. So, I always fly uh Seattle to when I go to Thailand, Seattle to South Korea, Delta. And then it's Korean Airlines from, South Korea to Thailand. So on the trip back the other day, it's, from Bangkok to South Korea, it's Korean Airlines. Then Delta the rest of the way home. They do things a little different on Korean Airlines. First off, it was a like a 5-hour flight. So like the first as soon as we get on the plane and take off and like we get to cruising altitude, they feed us. I'm like, okay, that's cool. But I mean, literally like maybe 45 minutes into the flight, they feed us. Cool. Then they turn the lights down after we ate for a few minutes, like after everybody kind of eaten. So probably an hour and a half into the flight. And it's a 5-hour and 20-minute flight. They like turn the cabin. Now, keep in mind, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. They turn the cabin lights down. And then, like, because I was kind of napping out, she came over and was like, close the window. They made everybody close the windows. They wouldn't even let you look out the window. They made everybody close the windows and they turned the lights down. And I guess that way everybody kind of went to sleep. And then, like, I don't think they came around with like water. When I say the rest of the flight, they just came around with water until like the last hour. Then they gave us a snack. 5.5 hours, food in the beginning, and then just water. And I can't look. It was. I do like though when it's time to eat, they make everybody push their seat up. You know how like sometimes the person in front of you will have their seat back and you trying to eat and they nah, that one they make you push your seat up. But like I've never been on a flight. She made me close the window. She was like, "Sir, window." I'm like, I pay good money for these seats. I can't look out the window. I don't know. They had their plan, but even on Delta, it pains me to say this because I'm a shareholder. The food service ain't what it used to be. They used to feed you on a 10-hour flight. You got fed like twice, and same with Delta. You get snacks, but only one real meal. Usually, last time before, you was getting two meals. I don't know. I don't know. I don't. I don't. I don't. Yeah, like I said, I'm a shareholder, but things are different. I miss the old school airplane meals too. Oh, statistically, most planes crash on takeoff and landing. Oh, I don't know that. Yeah, Joe, you're more likely to die in a car crash than a plane crash. Yeah, like that's, and we get in planes every day. It's not our fears in planes aren't reality. It's Crystal. I'm not a psychic at all. I don't know I don't know where that came from, but I'm not a psychic at all. No, Diamante, I'm back in the states. Kevin, I don't like to rank things. Best job, whatever. We had a couple decent jobs. No, I don't do the neck. I don't understand what people do with the neck pillow. Oh, this lady who sat by me on the flight from and she was doing too much. The flight from South Korea to Seattle, which was 9 hours, 10 hours, whatever. She was doing too much. She had a neck pillow. Oh, so okay, neck pillow, cool. People use. I don't understand what they do with them, but they do something with them. Then I've never seen this in my entire life, and I'd be on flights. She had some kind of weird stirrup system that she put her feet in. So it kinda hung over like, she put her tray table down, and it hung down from, like, her tray table, and she could, like, put her feet in them. But they were I mean, it's a plane, so it only picked her feet up about 2 inches off the ground. I'm sitting there, I'm like, "What is she doing?" I'm like, "What is this pulley stirrup?" I'm like, "What is this lady doing?" Because she just kept moving around. That's what I'm saying, she was doing too much, and she kept bumping into me, and, she's trying to put her little foot stirrup. I'm like, "Lady, what?" Then this was the crazy one. This was crazy. She starts blowing something up. She's she's I'm like, "Does she have a beach ball here? What are we doing?" She starts blowing something up. It's some weird pillow with like a hole in it for the face so that she can sleep. That it leans on the seat in front of her, and then she like try to sleep in it. Some weird. I'm like, here's what was the craziest thing. She never used any of it. She didn't use her neck pillow. She didn't use the face pillow. She didn't use the stirrups. Like she bought all this stuff for the trip and tried it for like 30 seconds and then didn't use it. But now she's got all this stuff because I was by the window and she was in the middle, and one of her friends was next to her. Now she's just got all this stuff in the way, and and she took a water bottle and put it between me and her, so her water bottle's poking me like. And she was an older lady, so I don't want to. If it's been somebody younger, they'd have got the where's the older lady? She just was doing too much, bro. And then like, so I eventually need to use the bathroom. I waited like 6 hours, right? Because I only want to go once. So I stretch it as long as possible. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom now because everybody was, the bathroom was clear. I'll watch it. Bathroom was clear. she won't acknowledge me. Like I'm like, excuse me, excuse me. She won't acknowledge me. I'm like, you not that sleep. So I have to like poke her. I'm like, excuse me. And she's like, huh? I'm like, I need to go to the bathroom. So, it's an ordeal for her to get all her stuff out the way, wake her friend up. But I'm like, hey, sorry, I gotta go to the bathroom. When I come back, her friend does the same thing. So I go to the bathroom, I come back, her friend won't wake up. I'm like, excuse me, excuse me. It's both. I'm like, I'm not trying to touch y'all. I'm just trying to get to the bathroom. Like it was too much, too much. I'm like, these ladies don't stop pretending they sleep and let me get to my seat. Like it was just too much. I'm like, it's always, I'm like, Tim, you only got to be on here 10 hours with these ladies and then you never have to see them again because they doing too much with her little weird pulley pillow system. I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't know what she was doing. Chris, if I could get any dog, I would get no dog. Because I don't have the pet gene, so I don't see the point. Um, Kevin, I don't like being rude in general. I mean, if you gotta, I wouldn't even say be rude. Like if I gotta be forceful and like be like, hey, I will. Like I don't mind. If I gotta go there. But yeah, I don't like conflict and that type of stuff. Yeah, man, them ladies was just when she started blowing stuff. I'm like, what are you blowing up? I'm just like, yeah, just yeah. So the point is, the neck pillows. I don't really understand how they work. Like, why not? I can just do this. Yeah, that's why I get a window seat too. You can just head up against the window. You know, comedy. I don't get mad much. Oh, it's usually not a good look when I get there because the problem with being someone like myself who's like, when I get mad, there's no stopping me. Like this train's gonna go down whatever track we all you know what I mean? Like there's no stopping me. Like I don't that's why it was such a problem when I used to drink and get mad because there's no stopping me. You gonna have to call the cops. And a lot of times they did. Fortunately, I had friends who kept me from going to jail. But you not stopping me. It is like I don't care how big I don't matter. You might kick my ass, but like when I get mad and it's go time, bro. So like, but even sober, like I don't like getting mad because I don't. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. Like I don't. You not. I'm very stubborn. So mad and stubborn is not a good combination. So I've learned to keep myself from going there. Because when I'm truly mad, there's nothing you can threaten me with that will deter me until I get back into my right mind a little bit. So I've learned over the years to keep myself from going there because making my point doesn't mean it's going to end well. Oh no, we're not calling people racist. Nope, we're not doing that. We not calling. Nope, 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 nope. Nowhere in my story did I mention anything about race. I didn't even say what nationality those women were. See, we make assumptions. We make assumptions. I didn't even say what nationality they were. I don't think. But nowhere in my story did I say anything about race because there was nothing racial about it. You know? Yeah, Angela, that's true. If someone tells me the WNBA scores, I get aggravated. But maybe we'll stay. Angela, do me a favor. Um, I don't want to keep telling people that because we've been having some trolls lately, and I don't want to put that thought in their head. So maybe we can stop telling people that. But yeah, I do get mad if people tell me scores, but we gonna stop mentioning that. Yeah, Kevin, sometimes you gotta be forceful, and I get it. Yeah, if you're weren't raised with someone telling you that. I was telling a friend of mine this the other day. I was like, sometimes in life you got to show your ass, you know, because people will walk over you, they will doormat you, and they'll just keep doing it, and they may not even realize they're doing it. It's just become a habit because you take it. People, all of us are gonna, unless we're fully aware of it, we're gonna do what people let us do, right? And sometimes all of us have needed. I know I've had need someone to be like, hey, So sometimes you got to show your ass. Like if someone doesn't really know they're doing it, you probably don't have to show your ass. Maybe just be like, hey, sometimes if a person that's just what they do, you got to show them you're not one of the people they do that with or to. Sometimes you just got to, especially like someone like me who doesn't get mad. If I just lose it on somebody, that they get very taken aback, and everyone around is like, "What did you do?" They're like, "I don't know." It makes a statement though. Everybody knows, like, "Oh, Tim's cool. He likes to laugh and joke." But I remember that one time so and so tried him, he went off. So like every now and then, sometimes you just gotta go off. It only takes usually once. Just lose it on somebody, or just make a point, and then it'll get around. Like, oh, Kevin. I don't know. He seemed like a nice guy, but like if pushed, mm. Uh, comedy. I wouldn't say people treat me different when they know I'm on YouTube. Nah, nah, nah. And even people who knew me on YouTube first and then like got to know me, they were like, "Hey." So no, I don't think so. I don't think so. Nah, nah. I mean, I mean, there's nothing. I don't know. And I like to believe that This is me. You know what I mean? So like, nah, they don't. Nah. Most people don't care. That's the thing. Most people don't care. People might think it's cool. Oh, but most people don't care. It's really not that big a deal. Like most people don't care. No. Earth, you've been spreading the word about seasonal jobs. Okay, nice, nice. People been listening. People been listening. I hope so. Seven knows what I'm talking about. Sometimes you gotta, you know, get a little too timid. Start just trying to go. Nope. Sometimes you gotta tell you, especially if people aren't expecting that from you. It only takes once. That people will never forget that. They'll start to get close to that line. But oh, nope, nope, nope. I don't want her to go off on me this time. Nope. Seven said, I saw a therapist post once. Sometimes you got to flip a table. That actually basically stands for facts, facts. Hey, you got to flip the table. Sometimes you got to. And I like that analogy. It has to be something that like is big. Even if it's not physically flipping a table, but like you got to do something in a manner that like people, ooh, you know what I mean? Like because then that lets people know. You know, it's like when people go into jail and like get into a fight day one, just to show like you can't. First person who tries them, they get it shaken, just to let people know like you can't. Nah, no pushover. In life, sometimes you got to treat it like the yard, like the mess hall. Like chow time. You gotta somebody get too close to whatever. You gotta let them know. Like, and for a lot of us, that's not in our nature. But like, you have to do that, or people going. That's why people say take kindness for weakness. Someone asked me that. People take your kindness for weakness. I'm like, no, because I'm not weak, and people find that out. So it's like I can be as kind as I want to, but people know like that don't give you the right to think you're gonna push them around because you're not. Because that one time, we all know, you know what I mean. So it's like I'd be kind as I want to. People, if they take it for weakness, they won't take it for weakness long. So and none of us are weak. So we've been taught sometimes that we're weak, but we're not. We're not. None of y'all weak. We not weak. No. Yeah, Angel's the quiet one. Be them quiet ones. Nick, I wear like Skechers pretty much. I literally was at by the famous footwear. I was like, oh, I gotta go down there and get me some more Skechers. I wear Skechers, so I'm thinking about checking out them. What are them Hokas? But I'm a Skechers man. Yeah, for sure. You gotta let them know, man. Too many people too scared to let people know. Like, nah, I got no problem hurting somebody's feelings if like they instigated it. Like I'm not just gonna walk up and hurt people's feelings or whatever in life. But like, if you keep coming at me acting crazy, and I gotta let you know that that's not gonna happen. If you get offended by that, I, I was chilling. You started it. None of us are weak. Resistance is not futile. Facts. The Borg was one of the is an amazing creation. The Borg from Star Trek, where that resistance is futile comes from, because like when you realize like what the Borg can kind of like represent, you know. One thing about Star Trek I'd appreciate is like at least back in the day. I don't know about now, but there was a lot of messaging in the cultures and peoples and they created, and like I think the Borg, yeah, just really represents just like conformity. Resistance is futile. You will be assimilated. Think about how many people go through life like that. It's like, oh well, nothing I can do about it. Might as well go along with it. But it's not true, bro. You can defeat the Borg. If multiple people are nicknaming you Trouble, Angela, I don't know. Mm. TJ, you wear Skechers too? Nice, nice. Comedy, you're absolutely that's the opposite. I don't have a solid time clock schedule. Um, well, part of that is because I haven't been working, so like I don't have a set time I have to get up. And then it's really been thrown off going over to Thailand, and like today, I'm making myself stay up until like 10 o'clock tonight, and then I'm gonna. I got another story. Um, so typically when I fly, this ties in. I promise you, it all tie in. Typically when I fly, I have a little thing of Dramamine. The little pill thing of Dramamine to help you like with air sickness, and it knocks me out. Yeah, when I take my Dramamine, I can go to sleep without doing the herky jerkies. So, but I only had like three. I didn't prepare for this trip well. So when I flew to Thailand, I had like one or two in the bottle, and I used them in flight, and then one of them I used to get to sleep one day because I couldn't sleep. And I was like, "Oh, no problem. I'll just pick up some Dramamine from one of the stores at the airport, in Thailand before I leave." Because I wasn't going to try to find it at the store, and I looked for it in the 7-Eleven, in multiple 7-Elevens, and yeah, it's no. Um, might have been there. I didn't see it. So I get to the airport, BKK Airport, Bangkok Airport, uh, and it is one of the nicest airport, like Gucci store, like all these South Korea the same way. They have all these luxury brands, Gucci and Prada and all these. Like it's just the swankiest place. Our airports. You got Popeyes and McDonald's, and you just got like the Hudson store. You can walk in and buy whatever you need. They didn't really have one of those. Like they just had like all these fancy like beauty stores. Like I'm talking, this place is fancy. The place is fancy. The airport way fancier than anything around it, but super fancy. So I'm like, where am I going to get my Dramamine? So they have pharmacies. They don't have like a regular. They have a full blown pharmacy like in the mall in the airport. Couple of them. One of them was just too much going on. So I went to one that like it was kind of smaller. There's really nobody there. So I went up to the lady. I was like, "Hey, you have anything for motion sickness?" And she was like, "I was like Dramamine," and she, "Oh." So the other lady got it for me. Um, but then like she starts typing in the computer. Like she had it right there. It was like a little pack, like a 10 pack. She starts typing in the computer. Long story short, she had to write me a prescription for it. Because when she gave it to me, she put it in a little baggie. She printed out like the prescription label and put it on the bag. I'm like, now where it said customer, it just said like customer number 789. She didn't like have to get my information, but like she had to write out a prescription to give me Dramamine. And I was like, ooh, this is gonna be that good Dram. And it was. It's that good Dramamine. And it was $1 for 10. Cheap. But I was like, oh, you gotta write like this is a real pharmacy thing here. But I just thought that was funny. Um, yeah, actually, I got it right here. Hold on. See, she had to she had to write out the prescription and put it on the and like put it on the bag, and it's crazy. But this is a cool little bag. But yeah, it was just this little packet thing, little Dramamine. She had to. It was just funny. Stuff like that fascinates me about travel. The little differences, you know. Oh, you like the board game villain? Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, they're really good villain. That that good, good. Yeah, I should have bought like 5 packs of it. Well, she probably wouldn't have given it to me. She probably like, bro, you don't need that much Dramamine. But for $1, you know, it's not from the dispensary. It's just Dramamine. But yeah, I'm gonna make myself. The point of bringing all that up is I'm gonna make myself stay up till like 10 o'clock tonight. Then I'm gonna take one of these and hopefully get back on my sleep schedule. Comedy, I think journaling is huge. Yeah, I think that's a great habit to be in. Journal, yeah, yeah, totally. Yeah, the Borg is a good villain. Like I wonder how that feels to like come up with a good villain that like stands the test of time. You know, I mean, even for like comic book artists and writers and or just writers in general, you come up with a villain that like becomes a part of pop culture and people reference it. That's got to be a good feeling, or even to come up with a hero. I wonder what's a better feeling to come up with a hero or a villain. I know actors and actresses say they prefer playing villains because it's more fun. Like you play a hero, you're confined, but like when you play a villain, you can just make it what you want to make it. The mountains are looking amazing out there. Because the sky's clearing up. Oh, it's nice. It's nice. Yeah, comedy. It's funny you mentioned about like you have 10 plus notebooks with personal stuff I gotta protect now. I recently just threw away 2 journals. And that was my thing. I was like, ooh. But I remember when I was writing them, because like I know I'm a minimalist and I knew I was gonna have to throw them away. I made a point to like not put too much personal stuff in there. I remember when I was writing, I was like, ooh, like some stuff I would word differently or whatever. Um, or kind of put it in code. I don't have a ton of stuff to hide, but like I remember, I was like, oh yeah, I made a point. I planned for this. I made a point not to put anything too personal because I'm gonna have to throw these away, because I can't keep them. I held on to them for a while, but I was like, yeah, Tim, it's time for them to go. So yeah, but yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, Kevin, I haven't read Dune. No, I've watched the movies. I started watching the new Dune show, but yeah, the new Dune Awakening game looks amazing. I've been watching that. Healing, you think one day? Yeah, that's the thing. Oh, I'll reread them one day. You're never gonna read. You're never gonna read them. You're never gonna. Once or twice, you might pull them out. But I mean, some people keep them. Uh, the best rogues gallery in comics has to be Batman. I mean, I think that's usually when people talk about a rogues gallery, they're usually referencing like Batman. A lot of times I've seen in the comic world, like, yeah, think just what other superhero are so many of their villains iconic? I don't think there's any other superhero where the villains have had as many movies as Batman. Think about it. Who? What other villains get movies? Joker, Catwoman, Suicide Squad. Like nobody else's villains gets their own movies. DC or Marvel. Maybe some of the Marvel villains get movies, but like no one character, I don't think has had their villains get multiple movies. Like no one stands up to Batman. But if I had to pick a I don't know. I don't know. Who's got the best villains in Marvel? I think the problem with Marvel is so many of their villains have the same. So many of their heroes got the same villains. I don't. I think maybe I don't know. Blade, no, no. Blade. No, I'm good on Blade. No, I'm good on Blade. I try to support my minority heroes, but yeah, Blade, just never got into Blade. Shout out to Wesley Snipes, just never never got into Blades. Comedy, I watch YouTube. Yeah, that's my main thing I watch is YouTube. So, um, I watch a lot of this type of content. When I'm logged into this channel, I mainly only watch this type of content. Um, when I'm logged into what used to be because I have different because I want the algorithms to be different. Um, when I'm in the mood for like battle rap and all that type of stuff, I'll log into one of my other channels, um, my old comic book channel. So when I'm on there, that's when I listen to all my music, battle rap, all that type of stuff. Um, and then for gameplay, I got another channel I log into. My brain works interestingly, but yeah, I watch a lot of gameplay videos lately. But yeah, I'm always on YouTube. You know, yeah, I didn't like the new Joker movies. I wasn't a fan of Angela. You know, I hope they revamp. You know, the problem is Heath Ledger did just such a good job on it. It's you know, I don't think anyone, in my opinion, has come along since then to do it justice. But some people like the new ones; they like them best. But I don't know. Never into anime. I try to. I wish I could get into anime. I just don't. It just doesn't work for me. See you later, Jose. Enjoy your workout. We're about to wrap it up here anyway. Do I like any animated TV versions of comics? Batman the animated series was amazing. Still is amazing. Um, there's some comic book shows I'll watch. Some superhero cartoons. I'll get on Amazon and a lot of the animated movies they have. I've watched most of the DC ones, especially with Batman or with like Justice League. Justice League and Justice League Unlimited were two good shows. Yeah, most of the Batman Justice League stuff I've watched the animated movies and stuff. Kids yelling out there. Uh, Y'all know me. I have not changed. I'm always if I'm out the window, anything, I'm like, what's going on? Who's I'm that person. Hey, Birdie, what up? Made it to alive. Yeah, I definitely am a compartmentalized person, Kevin. Yes, you came with the right word. Thank you. Yeah, things have to be in their proper place to. Yeah, and if you ever want to see me get discombobulated, have something. I'll give an example. Something I'm struggling with right now. So I'm doing a lot of research on collectibles because I'm going to have a collectibles business. We're getting started on that. Normally, I would watch videos about comic books and stuff on that old comic book channel. But now that I'm watching them for business, so like when I'm watching videos about people, sometimes you just have to watch people. I was watching videos about Golden Age comic book collections because that's how you learn about them. You got to watch other people who talk about them. My brain doesn't know what channel to watch those on because it doesn't seem to fit. I'm just gonna have to start another channel. Well, use another channel. It doesn't fit in either one. On any of the three main channels I watch stuff on, it doesn't fit squarely in any of them. So it's bothering me where what channel I should log into to watch those videos. That will bother me until I figure it out. I'm probably just gonna have to log into another channel. Um, but yeah, that stuff like that bothers me. I'll be like, it's not in the right spot. Everything has its right spot, you know. Golden Age comic books, Rochelle, are ones up until from the 30s, 40s, 50s, and I think they end in the 50s. Hold on, I can check. Uh, let's see. Golden Age comic book years from 1938 to 1956. Yeah. So yeah, they're called Golden Age. Birdie, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Super Chat Squad, thank you so much, Birdie. So glad to see you. I love getting my dose of positivity. We are here. We're here. I appreciate that love and that support. Thank you so much, Birdie. Sorry, we're about to jump off here in a couple minutes, but I appreciate you coming through. I appreciate the love. Thank you. I owe you, since you super chatted and we're about to end the stream. Next stream you come through, I owe you whatever questions you want to ask or whatever. I got you first. Got preference, but thank you, Birdie. Appreciate the love. Thank you. Thank you. Did I watch Blank Man? It was funny. Yeah. So in Rochelle, the reason I'm focusing on those is because, as with most things, the closer you get to modern times, the more it started being all about the money. Um, and I just think that, I mean, Silver Age books are kind of what, but I just like the ideal of dealing in old books that are hard to come by, and like you just kind of know where you stand. Like if this is, it's from, like I don't know. I just feel like that would be a cool area to specialize. Is Golden Age books. I think you're dealing with a different type of collector too. But yeah, I've been watching a lot of stuff about that. So and I think I also I'm thinking I might um specialize in female comic book characters because y'all know me. But I'm thinking about that too. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Are you sure? I'll keep you updated. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna jump off. We've been going like 3 hours and 30 minutes. I think that's good. I gotta eat lunch too. What time is it? Oh, it's 3:35. Yeah, I gotta go ahead and eat lunch. Thank you so much for tuning in, being part of the stream, being part of the community. Shout out to Angela, world's best moderator. All of y'all for coming through, showing love. Big shout out to the Super Chat Squad. Thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. Definitely does help to keep going. The abundance of a financial nature. Shout out to the lurkers, the thumbs uppers, everyone who commented, even the people we had to time out with love. Thank y'all so much. Y'all are amazing. I love y'all. Thank y'all for being a part of my life and allowing me to be a part of yours. We will talk again soon.